There. Helps if I add myself to the stream. Okay. Hey, everyone. Hey, Laura. Keeping up with KP. Oh, and thank you for becoming a member, KP. Kamala. How are you guys doing tonight? Hey, Liz. Hey, Tax Packet. I'm just going to call you that, Tax Packet, instead of TX Packet. Is that okay? Hey, Julianne. Feeling kind of breezy? Hot Wheel Sue. Angel Barnett. How are you doing? Yeah, good morning. Yeah, it's 2 a.m. here. You just woke up. Oh, it's 3:40. Okay, yeah. Well, that sucks. That did you have to wake up that early, Karen, or did you just like happen to? It sucks getting up that early. Hi, Diane, Camilla, Sherry Landscaping, Naughty Bunny. That sounds familiar, or that sounds new. Kimberly, Laura. Yeah, Laura. I kind of figured he'd wait till the last minute. It just seems that they always. I mean, even Brown. He may not wait till the last minute, but it's definitely like late in the day, evening or whatever when he does it. So thank you for the super chat, Lola Pepper. Finally catching a line from the start. Awesome. Glad to have you here. Just call me E-R-I, like Penny with an R. Okay. It's less complicated. And it's my name. I like Penny with an R. I don't understand. Because that sounds pretty complicated. Hey, Claire Bear, Shanna, Dottie Morgan, Miss Salty. Awesome. It's 1 a.m. here. Usual time to wake up. Oh, damn. I tell you, I got a new keyboard for my iMac, so I use this keyboard here for my iPad now, and it's awesome because you can just bring it with you anywhere. It's a little Bluetooth keyboard. Haiti Joyless, I hadn't heard that it dropped yet. I've been checking too. I'll check it again. Oh, wrong one. And I'm assuming that these are all like listed in order on this Dropbox. So, and I just keep going to the end, and it's just the one that was filed by Brown last. Where am I going? There we go. Chronically Between. No, or I think Salty is supposed to be making a new filing. That's what we're waiting for. Yeah, it's just after 11 West Coast, so he has like another 50 minutes to drop it. Where did you get that? Oh, the keyboard. That actually came with the iMac. Um, I used it for the iMac forever until I bought a new keyboard for the iMac. So now I use that little one for the iPad. It's great too because like it fits in my purse and shit. So, and it's an Apple wireless keyboard. So like it has all the Apple controls and everything. It's very compatible with iOS. So I like it. Aaron, it did. Emily already has the live set in the morning and sanctions. It did drop because yeah, I just checked too. I didn't see it. Oh, I'm hooked up to a Dropbox. I can always subscribe to Pacer though. No, he's not Jamel. He's not in Hawaii. He's in California. So he has like 48 minutes to drop it. How much is it to even subscribe to Pacer? Oh, sorry, my nose started running right before he went on. Because I can. I've been kind of thinking about doing that anyways. So. It's the DAX that cost? Okay. So what do I search for the court case by? Let's see. Let's see. The first one. Case number. Okay. All right. Let me check the chat before I start filling this out. Tina, yeah, someone just said, I read, someone said that they charge by documents, and I just saw a page come up briefly. You know, it looks like they do charge by document or whatever, but to sign up is free. Well, let's find out. If I could type. Why does it? What the hell? It's annoying. Oh my god. Let's see. Do you want to download docs? It's 10 cents page up to 3 hours. Okay. All right, cool. I'll go ahead. Tell you what. Why don't I go ahead and start playing the video while I finish signing up for this? What do I need? That's right. Okay, it's the first time I'm going to be doing this through StreamYard on Firefox. So let me know if you can't hear it when it starts playing.
Some stuff that's been happening, and I have to be honest. I don't watch videos about me. Lately, I've been getting some messages that there's been but that I've also been told, and I'm seeing that some of these same channels that have been very, very negative towards me are now getting targeted, and now they are kind of experiencing to a small degree what I've gone through for months and months and months. And a lot of these channels are starting to realize it's not fun when you're on the receiving end of that.
Yeah, these channels have been around for months. These channels have been interacting with one another for months and had no issues until maybe recently. So it's obviously because I was right and not because, I don't know, just sometimes people on the internet disagree. No, it's because I'm right. And you'll just have to take my word for it because I'm not about to provide any channel names for anyone to go and check and see for themselves.
It's not fun to be the one that's attacked. It's not fun to have people making exposed videos on you. It's not fun to be criticized, right? And I noticed that one of the biggest people that caused me the most stress and probably anxiety, BX Beast Boy, actually dumped 400,000 views off of his channel this week. Deleted.
Actually, when you look at February 17th and March 1st all together, he dumped about 900,000 views. That's almost a million views. I haven't really looked at his other channel, so I don't know what he has up about me or what he doesn't. So I don't know if this was about me or why this was about me, if it was. But I'm going to go ahead and think it was about me. And I'm going to go ahead and think that it was him admitting he was wrong. In which case, I don't accept this apology. He caused me way too much stress when he pointed out my lie.
Again, I did not respond, but I went to his social blade because I was watching someone's video, Radiant Brit, who, by the way, I've never watched before. I know she makes videos where she's like really not nice about me, but I actually found her decent, you know, like such a bully. And he had some sort of thing that happened with this one of these other haters of mine that's been horrible to me on Twitter, something wax. I don't watch this stuff.
Yeah. I watch the shit out of these channels.
And they're all getting attacked, right? And now they're all like having their like moment of zen, or they're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't be doing this kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the hell she's talking about, so I don't know how to translate.
But I go to his channel and I notice that like all the videos about me, all of them are gone.
Yeah, and it's not like he has more than one channel, right? And besides, I didn't mean all in like the literal sense. So,
He had made over 60 videos about me and they were really nasty. Going after my appearance, my parenting, all because of him and I having a misunderstanding and him recording something that I didn't know was recorded.
yes, a misunderstanding that I didn't know I was being recorded. Well, I mean, I was told ahead of time that this was going to be recorded, but I didn't expect that. Therefore, it's a misunderstanding, even though I think he was guilty of a crime.
Online, it doesn't take very much for people to go after you. They'll just do it. Like any perceived slight, you don't respond to their messages. You don't.
Creepshow art tweets. I'm going to stop doing creator shoutouts now. It doesn't sit right with me that there are people interpreting that as manipulative or fake. I'm sorry to anyone I made feel uncomfortable. Katie Joy tweets, funny, you've ignored my emails and requests for help repeatedly, even though I always shout you out.
See a chat that they leave you. You don't make content that they like. You say something in one of your videos that they find offensive. They don't like the angle that you took or the narrative that you're pushing out.
Creepshow Art goes on to tweet, I've been ignoring her for so long, but now she's tagging my friends and saying shady shit because I haven't acknowledged her many requests to talk about her on my channel. I am effing so annoyed and tired. What the F is wrong with people?
Toughest moments became fun for these people. And I remember watching Framing Britney Spears a couple weeks ago, and I thought about how the media treated Britney when she was going through her mental breakdown.
Yeah, I can't really be James Charles anymore after this past week. So now I bear the burden of being Britney Spears.
We shouldn't be glorifying in other people's, like, in terms of like, if they're going through some serious mental health stuff. And what I went through this fall was really serious. Like, it was the hardest I think I've ever experienced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, sure. But, 4.
And the amount of piling on that I went through with people just using my name because it was profitable, it was really hard.
They should just cover people and events that aren't profitable. I mean, that's what I do.
But I also realize that's part of this job. So I'm not complaining, and I'm not saying that I'm a victim. I'm not. Like, I'm a public figure.
Okay, so I'm not a victim, yet I'm doing this live stream discussing how I think other people are being victimized just like me. So does that mean they're not being victimized as well, or am I lying?
There was a big thing happening in my life. People were having opinions on it. It was hard because a lot of the things that were being said about me were flat out lies. But that's okay. People can say whatever they want and they can have any opinion that they want.
I've always said this.
When you align yourself in a community whose sole purpose is to literally just watch someone crumble, you start to become a really negative, horrible, angry person. I don't want to watch someone that I don't like. I don't want to report on someone that I don't like.
Yep, this is why I covered Micah Stauffer, James Gardner, why I cover the Duggars, and why I cover Michael Long, because I secretly like them.
So I have stuck true to what I enjoy and the content that I like. Sometimes I'm snarky,
And sometimes I'm just a bit.
or to cheer on people that I might not even agree with, because I know that positivity can go a long way.
That's how I treat everyone who disagrees with me. I mean, just ask my Trump supporting viewers. I'm their biggest cheerleader.
I'll tell you something about YouTube. Hate videos are very profitable.
It's true. Katie from June 2020 would also agree.
And the same trolls that trolled me, and I feel really bad about this with Charlotte. I saw that she got doxxed, and that made me really sad. Because that same person that doxed Charlotte has doxed me so many times, has threatened me so many times. And that person that doxed her, it wasn't called for. If Charlotte wants to share her story and share her opinion, she has a right to.
Well, unless her opinion differs from mine, then, like everyone else, she needs to shut the fuck.
I tried to be so clear with people when I was like, and I think people were just so caught up that they were not listening to me when I said, these people that you're engaging with, that you're getting information from, they are not good people, especially those people on Twitter.
It's true, because bad people never give good information. I mean, they're just not good like me. And I feel like I tried to tell you guys all this, and I did so for your own good. At no point in time did I do that for my own good.
I don't know which ones literally harassed Janelle Evans to the point that they showed up at her house.
And you can just go ahead and take my word for that. Don't ask them to confirm it.
And so these were the same accounts that you guys all like loved because they were talking shit about me.
Yeah, just because you guys are subscribers here doesn't mean I don't know that you guys love those accounts for hating on me.
One of these people we had to send a cease and desist letter to.
Apparently they listened to their cease and desist.
Like the levels that these people have gone to interrupt and destroy other people's lives, it's really scary. We do know some of their identities now, and you know, it's scary. So I don't want people to get hurt. I don't want people that are covering me to get hurt. I don't want these channels that have made critical videos of me getting hurt.
That's the only reason I made it a point to learn their identities, so I could protect them from being hurt.
I don't want people to get doxxed. I've been doxxed so many times. It's scary. And when I saw that Charlotte got doxxed and I saw what that person said about her, I was like heartbroken for her, because I was just like, that's not cool, like at all. It's not necessary. Just because she didn't agree with you and whatever, that wasn't necessary.
And just like that, the enemy of my enemy becomes my friend.
You know, and I'm sorry it happened to you guys. You don't deserve it. Nobody deserves it. I do have a heart, even for the people that are critical of me. And I just think like everyone, maybe this is a good learning curve for everyone.
Exactly. Maybe you all brought this shit upon yourselves. Maybe you all deserve it. I suggest you guys take this learning experience and learn something.
I don't expect the people around to stop hating me. That's just part of this job. I'm just glad that I'm at a place right now where it doesn't bother me. Instead of fighting back with them, just block them. I think people think they have to like fight my battles or they're going to get harassed. And like, if we allow that sort of mentality to win, it's almost like they win and they get what they want, right? Bad about defending me, defend me, go for it, have fun. Like, don't feel like just because you defend me that they can make an example out of you, because we'll make an example out of them. We will. We'll prove to everyone what they're doing to you guys. Don't be quiet. Don't be shy. Speak your truth. I always used to say, like, don't feel like you have to defend me. But now I'm saying, like, if you're seeing this bullshit and you feel compelled, you can defend me.
Okay, it's time for member shoutouts. I'd like to thank Absinthe12, Lufa, Plays in Rain, Spur.
Take that off. Oh, what do I remove? There we go. Lisa, I'm sorry. Where do you think I haven't addressed it? I mean, I did a live stream. I found out during a live stream that it had even happened, that she was doxxed, and I completely addressed it. I gave my entire thoughts and everything on it. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. All right, I'll check back in a second. I'm gonna finish getting to court documents. Come on. Oh, fucking annoying. What the hell? Why won't it let me log in? Let me check the chat here again. Oh yeah, I am. I am just Brett. I am really. I don't know. I was gonna go to bed. I wasn't even gonna go live. Oh shoot, that reminds me. Shit. Damn it. There. Yeah, I wasn't even gonna go live. Then Little Red was like, "Are you going live tonight?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I was thinking about it, you know, because these papers, the filing's supposed to drop and whatever." I didn't delete anything. Oh, that would be awesome. Tax pack. Oh God, yes. Let me look. Let me look for it right now. It's a Washington one. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Because yeah, that's gonna help a lot. Now I don't know what the hell to do. Where do I go? Do I have a code? Ah, there we go. Yay! I figured out how to log in. I'm awesome. Oh, you're in the Discord. They haven't put the docs up yet. I didn't even know that they did that in there. Hey, ambulance girl, nice to have you here. You know what? Here, why don't I do this? What was it? Which one was it? What's today? Today's Thursday? What, now it's Thursday? So it was like 6 days ago or something? Okay, yep, it's this one. All right. Here, I'm going to put this in the chat here for you, Lisa, so you can check it out. This is the live where I ended up discussing Charlotte, and it was while I was doing this live stream that that I learned about what Reagan did, and I absolutely gave my thoughts on it. So if you want to check it out, why is that in there? Okay. Okay. Well, it actually, yeah, someone just DM'd me and said that there's nothing filed yet, but I mean, it's 2:33 a.m. here, so I mean, it's like 11:33 there. So, just Britt, you tweeted I was live. Thank you. Right? Did my I thought I tweeted something too. Did that not go through? Oh, thank you, Haiti Joyless. Never been on any of KJ stuff on my Instagram notifications. 3 people on it. This one says. Hmm. Yeah, he has until midnight, Karen. At least that's my understanding, and I'm getting that from like everyone in the community. So it's everyone's understanding, I guess. Oh no, it's fine. No, just Britt, thank you. That's awesome. Thank you. It just I kind of thought maybe you're saying that because you're like, hey, don't worry about it. I did. I was like, well, wait a minute, did mine not go through? That's cool though. Thank you so much. Now about what happened on Twitter. Yeah. Yeah. That was on the live stream. Um. Yeah, the one I just shared a link to it actually up above for Lisa to watch if she wants. But that was the one I did on February. Yes. Oh, that's right. It's on 23rd. My daughter's birthday. I think that's one, right? Yeah. And did I see the glare in here? Did I see that somewhere? I think I did. If you're still here, hi. Sorry, I was signing up for Pacer when you came in. Remember? Okay, yeah, sure. Just Brett, let me grab that. Hey, Gary. You know, it's funny when I was doing member shout outs in the new video tonight, I actually mispronounced your name. I was like, shit, now I gotta start over. All right, let's see. Wait, that's not where it is. Okay. Um, where's that? Okay, just Brett, I'm gonna post it in here, in the chat, the link, and then I'm gonna also DM it to you. So, I mean, if I'm not paying attention or whatever and you need it, then you have it there. Maybe you're sleeping. Oh my God, it felt so good, man. I worked so hard last week. I needed that sleep bender. Let's see, where are you? Oh, on my message request. That's probably why I don't see you. There you are. Yeah, I also DM'd it to you to just for if you know I don't know just if you need it or whatever. It's convenient. You don't have to wait on me because I know I miss a lot of shit. Just a little drive by while working. Awesome, Jolly. Glad to have you here. All right, I'm going to take this information though that wait a minute, no, where is it? That text sent me. So direct link to the site. Awesome. Oh my god, it's so much easier than you use paste your information. Okay. To get this freaking shit show. Yeah, that's it was looking like it was gonna be tax. It was. The less info you search with, the better. Okay. So go back to here. Okay, so question: what do I search in the search bar when at the Western District of Washington site? I use current listener. It's easier. Huh. And why do they have to make these things so freaking complicated all the time? All right, case number. Well, I can get that from here. What the hell? Why is my copy and paste not working? Here we go. All right. Your search yielded no results. Do I need advanced search or something? Okay, yeah, it's break. I'm getting angry. Yeah, case number is not working. At least I think that's the case number. Where does it say? Yeah, it says case number. Yeah, definitely looks like it's a case number. Okay. Um, that would be awesome. Yeah, Lauren, if you can send me a link, that would be fantastic. I tried Tati Westbrook. That's because someone sent me a message and they said, try not to use both the first and last name, if you know, because I guess like putting more into the search query or whatever kind of comes back with less information, which a lot of things do kind of run that way. Okay, this is mobile view. Hey, that worked. That worked, Tex. I just had to like approve it for it to go through. All right. Yeah, nothing yet. To February 18th is the last one from Brown. All right, I got too many tabs open. I gotta close some shit. There we go. Okay. I don't know if she's throwing a fit yet. Try That's funny. It's funny, Haiti. Are you in Pacer Monitor? If so, honestly, I was in Pacer. Then I went to the courthouse in which it's at. Someone sent me a link and said I could search, Pacer from there, and that's where it wasn't. My search query wasn't being accepted. Whatever, it wasn't giving me any results. But someone just gave me a link to like all the filings or whatever, and it was a mobile link, but it still worked. So. Check your DM. What was that from earlier? Wait a minute. Oh, I still have you in message requests too. That's weird. Why? There we go. Just keep refreshing it. Okay, good. You can get the full site by looking at the bottom. Okay, cool. Oh, full site. Ah, yay. Well, this gave me a weird looking site. Case file, location, case summary. I'm just gonna go back to the mobile one for now. But I'll keep. I need to keep refreshing it anyway, so we can see. Hopefully, we'll see a filing within like the next 15 minutes. I can't imagine though, Salty would like miss a filing date or something, though, right? Hey, Little Red. Yeah, I was like live like for like 15 minutes before I DM'd you. Sorry. Little Red's kind of like why I even went live tonight. She's like, I think you should go live. Yeah, that's the full filing number. Yep, that's what I was searching with. I just copied it though and pasted it, but I mean that's exactly how it came out. Yeah, I doubt he missed a filing date too. Hmm. Oh, so I can play the new video again for those who didn't see it yet, and that'll take up like 10 minutes. Hopefully by then something will be filed. I can stop it though if you want, like as soon as I see something filed. Can you look at what Emily says for tomorrow morning? I'm sure that says. Sure. What am I doing here? All right. Please, you missed it. Okay, sure. I'm gonna go ahead and start that then, and I'll look, see what her live says for tomorrow. Why is that? That's weird. Oh.
some stuff that's been happening, and I have to be honest. I don't watch videos about me. Lately, I've been getting some messages that there's been but that I've also been told, and I'm seeing that some of these same channels that have been very, very negative towards me are now getting targeted. And now they are kind of experiencing, to a small degree, what I've gone through for months and months and months. And a lot of these channels are starting to realize it's not fun when you're on the receiving end of that.
Yeah, these channels have been around for months. These channels have been interacting with one another for months and had no issues until maybe recently. So it's obviously because I was right and not because, I don't know, just sometimes people on the internet disagree. No, it's because I'm right. And you'll just have to take my word for it because I'm not about to provide any channel names for anyone to go and check and see for themselves.
It's not fun to be the one that's attacked. It's not fun to have people making exposed videos on you. It's not fun to be criticized, right? And I noticed that one of the biggest people that caused me the most stress and probably anxiety, BX Beast Boy, actually dumped 400,000 views off of his channel this week. Deleted.
Actually, when you look at February 17th and March 1st altogether, he dumped about 900,000 views. That's almost a million views. I haven't really looked at his other channel, so I don't know what he has up about me or what he doesn't. So I don't know if this was about me or why this was about me, if it was. But I'm going to go ahead and think it was about me. And I'm going to go ahead and think that it was him admitting he was wrong. In which case, I don't accept this apology. He caused me way too much stress when he pointed out my lie.
Again, I did not respond, but I went to his social blade because I was watching someone's video, Radiant Brit, who, by the way, I've never watched before. I know she makes videos where she's like really not nice about me, but I actually found her decent, like such a bully. And he had some sort of thing that happened with this one of these other haters of mine that's been horrible to me on Twitter, something wax. I don't watch this stuff.
Yeah, I watch the shit out of these channels.
And they're all getting attacked, right? And now they're all like having their like moment of zen where they're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't be doing this kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the hell she's talking about, so I don't know how to translate.
But I go to his channel and I notice that like all the videos about me, all of them are gone.
Yeah, and it's not like he has more than one channel, right? And besides, I didn't mean all in like the literal sense. So
he had made over 60 videos about me and they were really nasty. Going after my appearance, my parenting, all because of him and I having a misunderstanding and him recording something that I didn't know was recorded.
Yes, a misunderstanding that I didn't know I was being recorded. Well, I mean, I was told ahead of time that this was going to be recorded, but I didn't expect that. Therefore, it's a misunderstanding, even though I think he was guilty of a crime.
Online, it doesn't take very much for people to go after you. They'll just do it. Like any perceived slight, you don't respond to their messages. You don't.
Creepshow art tweets. I'm going to stop doing creator shoutouts now. It doesn't sit right with me that there are people interpreting that as manipulative or fake. I'm sorry to anyone I made feel uncomfortable. Katie Joy tweets, funny, you've ignored my emails and requests for help repeatedly, even though I always shout you out.
See a chat that they leave you. You don't make content that they like. You say something in one of your videos that they find offensive. They don't like the angle that you took or the narrative that you're pushing out.
Creepshow Art goes on to tweet, I've been ignoring her for so long, but now she's tagging my friends and saying shady shit because I haven't acknowledged her many requests to talk about her on my channel. I am effing so annoyed and tired. What the F is wrong with people?
Toughest moments became fun for these people. And I remember watching Framing Britney Spears a couple weeks ago.
Okay, so it's filed. I'm going to go ahead. I don't know if I need if I can just download it or what, but either way, I'm going to go ahead and grab it and I'm going to let this video play until I grab it. But then as soon as I get it, I'm going to come back in and stop the video if that's okay with everyone. Because I figured we can restart the video anytime. But, I mean, dude, it's new filing. I know we're all waiting for it. So let me go grab it. And then I'll come right back and we'll read it together. Shit, now that I think about it, I'm going to have to switch over to Chrome, I think, for that. So, okay, I'm going to go back to the video for a minute while I do that.
And I thought about how the media treated Britney when she was going through her mental breakdown.
Yeah, I can't really be James Charles anymore after this past week. So now I bear the burden of being Britney Spears.
We shouldn't be glorifying in other people's, like, in terms of, like, if they're going through some serious mental health stuff. And what I went through this fall was really serious. Like, it was the hardest I think I've ever experienced.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sure. But, 4.
And the amount of piling on that I went through with people just using my name because it was profitable, it was really hard.
They should just cover people and events that aren't profitable. I mean, that's what I do.
But I also realize that that's part of this job. So I'm not complaining, and I'm not saying that I'm a victim. I'm not. Like, I'm a public figure.
Okay, so I'm not a victim, yet I'm doing this live stream discussing how I think other people are being victimized just like me. So does that mean they're not being victimized as well, or am I lying?
There was a big thing happening in my life. People were having opinions on it. It was hard because a lot of the things that were being said about me were flat out lies. But that's okay. People can say whatever they want, and they can have any opinion that they want.
I've always said this.
When you align yourself in a community whose sole purpose is to literally just watch someone crumble, you start to become a really negative, horrible, angry person. I don't want to watch someone that I don't like. I don't want to report on someone that I don't like.
Yep, this is why I covered Micah Stoffer, James Gardner, why I cover the Duggars, and why I cover Michael Long, because I secretly like them.
So I have stuck true to what I enjoy and the content that I like. Sometimes I'm snarky.
And sometimes I'm just a bit.
Or to cheer on people that I might not even agree with, because I know that positivity can go a long way.
That's how I treat everyone who disagrees with me. I mean, just ask my Trump supporting viewers. I'm their biggest cheerleader.
I'll tell you something about YouTube. Hate videos are very profitable.
It's true. Katie from June 2020 would also agree.
And the same trolls that trolled me, and I feel really bad about this with Charlotte. I saw that she got doxxed, and that made me really sad. Because that same person that doxed Charlotte has doxed me so many times, has threatened me so many times. And that person that doxed her, it wasn't called for. If Charlotte wants to share her story and share her opinion, she has a right to.
Well, unless her opinion differs from mine, then, like everyone else, she needs to shut the fuck.
I tried to be so clear with people when I was like, and I think people were just so caught up that they were not listening to me when I said, these people that you're engaging with, that you're getting information from, they are not good people, especially those people on Twitter.
It's true, because bad people never give good information. I mean, they're just not good like me. And I feel like I tried to tell you guys all this, and I did so for your own good. At no point in time did I do that for my own good.
I don't know which ones literally harassed Janelle Evans to the point that they showed up at her house.
And you can just go ahead and take my word for that. Don't ask them to confirm it.
And so these were the same accounts that you guys all like loved because they were talking shit about me.
Yeah, just because you guys are subscribers here doesn't mean I don't know that you guys love those accounts for hating on me.
One of these people we had to send a cease and desist letter to.
Apparently they listened to their cease and desist.
Like, the levels that these people have gone to interrupt and destroy other people's lives, it's really scary. We do know some of their identities now, and you know, it's It's scary. So I don't want people to get hurt. I don't want people that are covering me to get hurt. I don't want these channels that have made critical videos of me getting hurt.
That's the only reason I made it a point to learn their identities, so I could protect them from being hurt.
I don't want people to get doxxed. I've been doxxed so many times. It's scary. And when I saw that Charlotte got doxxed and I saw what that person said about her, I was like heartbroken for her because I was just like, that's not cool, like at all. It's not necessary. Just because she didn't agree with you and whatever, that wasn't necessary.
And just like that, the enemy of my enemy becomes my friend.
You know, and I'm sorry it happened to you guys. You don't deserve it. Nobody deserves it. I do have a heart, even for the people that are critical of me. And I just think like everyone, maybe this is a good learning curve for everyone.
Exactly. Maybe you all brought this shit upon yourselves. Maybe you all deserve it. I suggest you guys take this learning experience and learn something.
I don't expect the people around to stop hating me. That's just part of this job. I'm just glad that I'm at a place right now where it doesn't bother me. Instead of fighting back with them, just block them. I think people think they have to like fight my battles or they're going to get harassed. And like, if we allow that sort of mentality to win, it's almost like they win and they get what they want, right? Bad about defending me, defend me, go for it, have fun. Like, don't feel like just because you defend
Okay. I hope I'm in. It looks like I am. Okay. Because I had to drop out of the other one and join in over here. And I couldn't activate my devices until I dropped out. So I love my Mac. It can do a lot of things, but man, it is so freaking slow. You hear me? Okay. Should be. Oh no, yes, right. I didn't turn my camera back on yet. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead though and pull that up. Share screen. That's right. I gotta do that first. Oh my god, it seems so freaking long. Okay, bear with me here because I'm not very, I guess, good at maybe reading court documents. So I'm just gonna go in the order, I guess, in which they're shown. So see what happens. All right, so now share. What's that look like? Okay, I'm gonna have to make that smaller, maybe. What's that look like? Maybe one notch bigger? Is that good? Is that a good size for everyone? If we need a bigger whatever, let me know. I'll try and keep remembering to check over there. Can I close this window here? There we go. All right. Bigger for you at least? Okay. That should help too now that I closed out the side window. Okay, now let me just throw this out here. I'm not a lawyer. I know probably very little about the law. So whatever comes out of my mouth, do not make any decisions based on what comes out of my mouth. So, all right, let's see here. Declaration of Ilana R. Levine in support of plaintiffs' opposition to defense motion for sanctions. Oh, so I should probably pull up another one first because I'm guessing this is someone's declaration and it says elsewhere what the declaration is, right? I don't know. I'm guessing. Maybe switch to 125. Okay. All right. Let me see what else is in there. I'm thinking maybe this one might be it. All right. So. Microsoft Word. Okay. All right. So let's see what that looks like. Go. It's 125. Okay. So is this good? Well, it's delayed here. Wait a second. Yeah, she is co-concept. But usually, though, I notice, again, I have no idea about any of this crap. So I don't even know how declarations are written, really. But usually, from what I've seen by watching others, is that there's I don't know, an introduction to what the declaration is about. And then you come across the declaration or the actual declaration of whoever's involved. So the first is the opposition motion. Okay. So is that this? Oh, yeah. Plaintiff's opposition to defendant's motion for sanctions. Okay, so I'm guessing now I know how they're numbered. There we go. Yay. All right, so am I reading all of this? I mean, I don't mind, but I don't want to make you guys sit here and listen to it if you don't want to. So, all right. Introduction. Defendant's motion to dismiss is pending, yet defendants are driving up litigation costs by accusing plaintiff's counsel of misconduct, failing to observe the local rules, and filing needless and duplicative motions irrelevant to the motion to dismiss. Since filing the motion to dismiss, defendants have filed 5 additional motions, 3 of which require a written response from plaintiffs, and 1 of which was struck by the court as improper under the local court rules. All 5 of these motions were filed within a 30-day period from January 18th to February 18th. In the pending motion, defendants seek to distract the court with accusations of improper conduct and declarations filed for an improper purpose because the proffered testimony, 1, shows that defendant Katie Joy Paulson misrepresented the nature and scope of defendant's Washington contacts in her declarations filed in support of the motion to dismiss, and 2, establishes defendants have sufficient minimum contacts with Washington for this court to exercise personal jurisdiction over them. Moreover, defendants' motion for sanctions contains numerous misrepresentations, which is not the first time defendants have misrepresented and or misconstrued facts to the court. For example, at the February 2nd status conference concerning the Natalie Kennett declaration, Mr. Brown represented to the court that he was reading from Ms. Kennett's declaration verbatim, yet the actual language of, all right, are we looking at the footnotes now? I'm guessing, right? Look at the footnotes. Okay. The third of motions. Oh, okay. So there's nothing sassy there, huh? Okay, so what was it? Yet the actual language of Ms. Kennett's declaration reveals that Mr. Brown recited words that were not, in fact, therein. Mr. Brown's February 2nd statement, I knew Ms. Paulson was not being honest with me when she denied that she was behind the hacks, quote unquote. Natalie declaration, I knew she was not being honest with me about her statements that she did not tell anyone to go after me or that she does not tell anyone to do anything, period. Okay, I see what they did there. Okay, I just want to check chat real quick. All right, thank you, Atticus, for becoming a member, and thank you, Karen, for the super chat. Thank you for doing this for us. Are you kidding? I'm just thrilled people are here. But you're welcome. Thank you. All right, so in addition, defendants' claims of bad faith conduct regarding Ms. Barnhart are based almost exclusively on hearsay evidence. The unsigned Barnhart declaration, I almost read that as the Unabomber for some reason. The unsigned Barnhart declaration drafted by Mr. Brown into an incomplete set of emails exchanged between Mr. Brown and Ms. Barnhart prior to Ms. Barnhart contacting plaintiff's counsel. Defendants assert that the signed Barnhart declaration, which was signed by Ms. Barnhart under penalty of perjury, is false, while the unsigned Barnhart declaration, a series of 3 documents drafted by defendant's counsel and not signed under penalty of perjury, is factually correct. Ironically, this completely contradicts Mr. Brown's own email to Ms. Barnhart in early January, in which he indicates that the signing of a sworn declaration is, quote, generally a solid indication someone is telling the truth, unquote. Further, defendant's assertion that Ms. Barnhart was eager to sign the unsigned Barnhart declaration is bellied by the fact that Ms. Barnhart ultimately chose not to sign it and instead cut off communications with Mr. Brown on January 11th. Even more puzzling are defendants' attacks of Ms. Barnhart's credibility based on her. See here. Okay, even more puzzling are defendants' attacks of Ms. Barnhart's credibility based on her personal health issues, which Mr. Brown himself was fully aware of as early as December 27th. Yet Mr. Brown had no concerns, as recently as 2 days before the signed Barnhart declaration was filed, about using Ms. Barnhart to testify favorably for defendants. Good point. Plaintiff's counsel's conduct was not in bad faith. The filings were not frivolous, and therefore sanctions are not warranted. Clarification of facts. A. Lori Ann Barnhart. On December 30th, during a meet and confer called to discuss the joint status report and discovery plan, plaintiff's counsel told Mr. Brown that Ms. Barnhart had deleted her Twitter account the night before and that Twitter would permanently delete the data from her account within 30 days of the account's deletion. The parties agreed to carve out an exception to the discovery stay to allow plaintiffs to subpoena Ms. Barnhart's social media account information. At no time during the call did Mr. Brown disclose that he had been in direct, regular contact with Ms. Barnhart for approximately a week. In fact, in an email to Ms. Barnhart later that evening, Mr. Brown indicated that he deliberately withheld his communications with her. I spoke with Saltz today. They're planning to subpoena your Twitter account because they see that you closed your account and they think there might be evidence there about your connection to Katie. I did not disclose that you and I are in touch. And in response, Ms. Barnhart wrote, "Figures, what are your thoughts?" Okay. Let me just check chat in case I don't want to miss anything here. Okay. There we go. On January 10th, Ms. Barnhart sent a direct message to plaintiff's counsel, Michael Saltz, though Mr. Saltz did not see her message until January 12th. Mr. Saltz and co-counsel, Alana Levine, spoke to Ms. Barnhart in a series of phone calls on January 12th and January 13th that lasted approximately 16 hours total. Holy crap. During the first call on January 12th, Ms. Barnhart forwarded certain email chains that were later determined to be only a portion of her correspondence with Mr. Brown. Okay. Plaintiff's counsel reviewed the emails while on the phone with Ms. Barnhart and realized that the contents revealed a potential attorney-client relationship between Ms. Barnhart and Mr. Brown. When asked about Mr. Brown, Ms. Barnhart confirmed that she believed that Mr. Brown was acting as her attorney because she repeatedly asked him for legal advice, which he provided, and he offered on multiple occasions to help her respond to the subpoena at no cost. However, Ms. Barnhart advised plaintiff's counsel that she had terminated her relationship with Mr. Brown. She had also told Mr. Brown that she was going to call plaintiff's counsel directly. Plaintiff's counsel then proceeded with interview. Is there anything I could do? Should I try to? Okay. Oh, they're just going over the emails or whatever. Okay. Because Ms. Barnhart had closed her Twitter account, Ms. Barnhart reinstated the account and provided Mr. Saltz with access. While on the phone with Ms. Barnhart, Mr. Saltz reviewed her account and asked her detailed questions about her numerous communications with Ms. Paulson. After nearly 11 hours on the phone, screw that, Ms. Barnhart advised plaintiff's counsel that she just took medication to address her personal health issues. See, I always thought that they sounded weird when it was revealed that she had just taken medication, whatever. But now hearing that they were on the phone for 11 hours, now it makes perfect sense. Just saying. Accordingly, plaintiff's counsel immediately adjourned the interview. On January 13th, plaintiff's counsel and Ms. Barnhart resumed their call and after approximately 5 hours completed the interview process. Time was of the essence because Ms. Barnhart was eager to correct mistaken identification of the other Lorianne Barnhart. Ms. Levine transmitted the declaration to Ms. Barnhart via email on January 13th, and Mr. Saltz and Ms. Levine then called her again to go over it with her. Mr. Saltz carefully recited the declaration out loud while Ms. Barnhart reviewed the written version to ensure accuracy. After Ms. Barnhart made certain changes to her declaration, Ms. Barnhart subsequently signed the declaration without any difficulty, which was filed on January 13th. Meet and confer phone conference. Mr. Brown either was confused during the January 27th meet and confer with plaintiff's counsel, or he purposely misconstrued what occurred. Plaintiff's counsel never stated, among other things, that they rushed to complete their interview of Ms. Barnhart and get her signature on the signed Barnhart declaration before her medication took effect. The record shows that plaintiff's counsel made every effort to protect Ms. Barnhart and preserve her testimony, including pausing the interview after she took her medication and waiting until the following day when Ms. Barnhart was clear-headed and alert to continue the interview. In addition, during the meet and confer, Mr. Brown never raised the following substantive issues on which the motion for sanctions is based. A, the Kim Fulmer declaration, including whether any of Ms. Fulmer's testimony was submitted for an improper purpose. B, whether Mr. Saltz's direct messages to a friend of Lorianne Barnhart were for oppressive reasons and an improper purpose. C, whether any testimony in Saltz's January 4th declaration was submitted for an improper purpose. And D, whether plaintiff's counsel violated RPC 4.2 by communicating with Ms. Barnhart. Let me check chat here real quick. Yeah, I know, 11 hours on the phone, shit. I'm surprised she waited that long to take the meds. She could get the link to where you found the case possible. Oh, yeah, sure. Wait a second. I gotta go back here and grab that. Here we go. Okay, here's the link. Someone else sent me the link. It's from a mobile site, but you should be able to pull it up just fine, even on desktop if you're on desktop. So there you go. Miss anything else? Okay. Argument. Defendants failed to make a meaningful effort to confer with plaintiff's counsel prior to filing the motion. This court's standing order for all civil cases, standing order, requires that the parties make a meaningful effort to confer prior to filing a motion, and motions that do not comply may be summarily denied. Here, Mr. Brown failed to make a meaningful effort to confer with plaintiff's counsel prior to filing the instant motion for sanctions. In fact, defendant's motion for sanctions could have been entirely avoided had defendant's counsel conducted a meaningful meet and confer with plaintiff's counsel. In addition to explaining their interactions with Ms. Barnhart, plaintiff's counsel offered to provide Mr. Brown with correspondence and documents from Ms. Barnhart. Mr. Brown not only ignored the offer, but he also cut the meet and confer short. Plaintiff's counsel was deprived the opportunity to address or clarify many, if not all, of the issues identified in the instant motion. B. Plaintiffs moved to strike portions of Mr. Brown's declarations and exhibits attached thereto. Pursuant to, I'm not reading all that shit. Supplemental. Okay. In the absence of a procedural rule or statute, hearsay is. Okay, right? You guys don't need to hear what hearsay is, right? I don't know. If you want me to read that, I will. It's up to you guys. Thank you for the super chat, Captain T. You're the real MVP for staying up late for us night owls to get our salty fix. Thanks, Aaron. You're welcome. I don't think I would have been able to sleep anyways. So I wanted my salty fix too. Okay. What's Christ minute? Okay, no, that is kind of important shit. All right. In the absence of a procedural rule or statute, hearsay is inadmissible unless it is defined as non-hearsay under Federal Rule of Evidence or falls within a hearsay exception under rules, etc. The above referenced evidence should be stricken because it consists almost entirely of inadmissible hearsay. The out-of-court statements in these paragraphs are submitted for the truth of the matter asserted and are relied upon by defendants in their motion for sanctions. In addition, requires that a witness declare under penalty of perjury that the facts contained in the witness's declaration are true and that the witness sign and dates the declaration. Compliance to, the unsigned Barnhart declaration and excerpts thereto do not comply with the mandatory requirements and are therefore inadmissible and cannot be used to support the motion for sanctions. Because defendants have filed a motion for sanctions that relies on the inadmissible hearsay and on the unsigned declaration that fails to comply, plaintiffs move for such inadmissible evidence to be stricken from the record. Okay. So he's just asking. All right. So he's responding to shit Brown said, and now this is what he wants on top of that. I'm guessing. Required to reimburse the opposing party as such. The court must begin its analysis with the Okay, it's just talking. This is just going on about why Salty shouldn't have to pay the fees or whatever. Which I always thought that was a stretch. Anyways, I don't know, not a lawyer or anything, but just it sounded like really. It's like semantics or something. I don't know. Okay, in this case, there's no basis for an imposition of sanctions against plaintiff's counsel under the high thresholds or the court's inherent power. Plaintiff's counsel did not advance frivolous and reckless arguments or unreasonably and vexatiously multiply these proceedings by filing the declarations at issue or communicating with Ms. Barnhart, nor were these declarations filed for an improper purpose. Plaintiff's counsel did not multiply the proceedings as required by... Okay. Plaintiff's counsel did not act in bad faith. Here, none of these three declarations at issue in defendant's motion for sanction were reckless or frivolous filings. I don't know. I could be wrong, but this just sounds like it's saying like a lot of the same thing. We're simply attempting to besmirch plaintiff's counsel and Ms. Barnhart to credit. Okay. Defendants are simply attempting to besmirch plaintiff's counsel and Ms. Barnhart to discredit her testimony, which was provided under penalty of perjury. A. Ms. Barnhart's testimony was properly obtained and vetted and was filed in response to Ms. Paulson's 2 declarations for the proper purpose of providing evidence of defendant's Washington contacts. Dude, all the P's in that. It's like Mr. Popper's Penguins or whatever, almost. Defendants speciously assert that due to purported harassment by plaintiff's counsel, Ms. Barnhart finally relented on January 12th and reached out to Mr. Saltz. However, as evidenced by the record, Ms. Barnhart's primary goal in her involvement in this case was to clarify that she was not the other Lori Barnhart identified in the Fulmer Declaration. You know, I think that's one thing that really can't be called into question. Lori really did just want the case of mistaken identity rectified. Like, that was her only concern, almost, it seems like. In her correspondence with Mr. Brown, Ms. Barnhart repeatedly requested that he tell plaintiff's counsel to correct the record so that the government employee with Ms. Barnhart's same name would not be at risk of potential harassment or of receiving a subpoena meant for Ms. Barnhart. Ms. Barnhart also told Mr. Brown numerous times that she voluntarily wanted to provide plaintiff's counsel with full access to her social media accounts. Despite Mr. Brown's assertion that he never represented Ms. Barnhart, Mr. Brown repeatedly talked Ms. Barnhart out of contacting Mr. Saltz directly. Had Mr. Brown simply followed Ms. Barnhart's request to clear up the mix-up with the other Lori Barnhart as soon as possible, Ms. Barnhart likely would not have contacted plaintiff's counsel. Yet, instead of doing as Ms. Barnhart asked, Mr. Brown delayed discovery that Ms. Barnhart was willing to turn over without court involvement, forcing Ms. Barnhart to approach plaintiff's counsel directly. Additionally, plaintiff's counsel spent more than 16 collective hours over the course of 2 days on the telephone with Ms. Barnhart, reviewed Ms. Barnhart's extensive Twitter communications. All right, we already read that, didn't we? Yeah. Well, read almost the entire same thing. Ms. Barnhart, we're limited to a few brief online conversations related to this matter. Oh, okay. So they identified the wrong Lori Barnhart, when no such communication exists. Ms. Paulson and Ms. Barnhart's communications were limited to a few brief online conversations unrelated to this matter when Ms. Barnhart's Twitter account reveals hundreds of interactions. Unlike Mr. Brown, plaintiff's counsel spent hours reviewing external documents, including Ms. Barnhart's Twitter account, to verify the accuracy of Ms. Barnhart's statements in the signed declaration. All right, I want to go up here for a second. Okay. Additionally, plaintiff's counsel spent more than 16. Okay. Ms. Barnhart's extensive Twitter communications with Ms. Paulson and reviewed certain of Ms. Barnhart's correspondence with Mr. Brown. Plaintiff's counsel confirmed that the Twitter communications corroborated Ms. Barnhart's testimony relating to Ms. Paulson. Unsurprisingly, the unsigned Barnhart Declaration is based on substantive, I can't talk tonight, okay, whatever. I know the word, it's just for some reason my mouth doesn't want to make it. Misrepresentations of fact. For example, the unsigned Barnhart Declaration states, 1, that plaintiff's counsel threatened her on Twitter to make her party to a lawsuit, yet no such communication exists. Ms. Barnhart told plaintiffs, okay, so that's all right. This part, though, I like. 3, Ms. Paulson and Ms. Barnhart's communications were limited to a few, quote, few brief online conversations unrelated to this matter, when Ms. Barnhart's Twitter account reveals hundreds of interactions. Yeah. Well, I think we all kind of knew that she was lying about that shit. I just want to check chat again, because in case someone's got a question and has to say something, I don't want to miss it. Okay. Okay. Moreover, Ms. Barnhart's declaration is directly related to the personal jurisdiction defense raised by defendants in the motion to dismiss and was filed to refute misstatements by Ms. Paulson regarding defendants' contacts with Washington. The filing of Ms. Barnhart's declaration was not in bad faith. B, the Fulmer and Salt's declarations were filed only to address the misrepresentations made in the Paulson declarations as to the nature and scope of defendants' Washington contacts. Defendants argue that certain references to Ms. Barnhart in the declaration of Kim Fulmer are irrelevant and harmful to Ms. Barnhart, yet it is defendants who repeatedly had publicized these references since Ms. Fulmer's declaration was filed, as well as repeatedly publicized Ms. Barnhart's personal health issues. Furthermore, Ms. Fulmer's inclusion of the reference to Ms. Barnhart's previous criminal charge was proper to show that one, Ms. Barnhart is a Washington resident and has been for several years, and 2, Ms. Fulmer reasonably feared for her safety following Ms. Barnhart's threats based upon Ms. Barnhart's history. In addition, defendants' implication that the charge was dismissed on the merits is not accurate. The charge was dismissed after Ms. Barnhart completed a diversion program. The Fulmer Declaration also intentionally omitted the affidavit of probable cause in the charging document, which contained the details of the acts charged, including that they involved actual physical harm to a person. Notably, Ms. Barnhart, under penalty of perjury, testified that, except for the statement regarding Ms. Barnhart being a government employee, Ms. Fulmer's declaration was entirely accurate. Moreover, all of the exhibits to Ms. Fulmer's declaration are public records, including the list of public employees, and readily accessible by a simple internet search. Defendants erroneously accused Mr. Saltz of stating in his January 4th declaration that Ms. Barnhart and Ms. Paulson engaged in a conspiracy to hide evidence. Mr. Saltz made no such statement in his January 4th declaration. Instead, Mr. Saltz testified that after reviewing hundreds of hours of defendants' vast social media content, he discovered that numerous social media interactions between Ms. Barnhart and Ms. Paulson had been deleted shortly after Ms. Fulmer's declaration, which identified a relationship between Barnhart and Paulson for purposes of personal jurisdiction was filed. Mr. Saltz also discovered that after defendants' motion to dismiss for lack of personal jurisdiction was filed, Ms. Paulson told her viewers on a YouTube live stream not to share where they lived. Therefore, Mr. Saltz reasonably concluded that evidence relating to personal jurisdiction intentionally was deleted or oh my God, I can't talk tonight. Whatever. And as a result, was more difficult to find. There's no mention of a conspiracy between Barnhart and Paulson. Mr. Saltz's messages with Ms. G were not threats. Who was Ms. G? Let me check chat one more time. Okay. Mr. Saltz's messages with Ms. G were not threats. Defendants seek sanctions against plaintiff's counsel based on allegations that Mr. Saltz sent threatening direct messages to Ms. Barnhart on January 1st. First, it is undisputed that, though purposely vague in defendant's motion for sanctions, that Mr. Saltz didn't send any direct messages to Barnhart, but rather sent direct, non-threatening messages to Ms. G. Second, Ms. Barnhart testified that she did not take these messages as a threat. Finally, Mr. Brown's own correspondence reveals that Ms. Barnhart did not take Mr. Saltz's messages to
Ms. G as a threat. On January 11th, Mr. Brown wrote to Ms. Barnhart regarding Mr. Saltz's direct messages with Ms. G suggesting, quote, "It would be great if you would state that you took it as a threat and felt intimidated," unquote. Had Ms. Barnhart truly felt threatened, there would have been no need for Mr. Brown's suggestion. D. Ms. Barnhart terminated her attorney-client relationship with Brown, if any, prior to contacting plaintiff's counsel. Defendants simultaneously assert that Mr. Brown never represented Barnhart and that plaintiff's counsel must be sanctioned because they should have known that Brown represented Barnhart. In defendants' recently filed motion to quality counsel, defendants argue for 6 pages that Barnhart could never have reasonably assumed that Brown represented her and acknowledged that Barnhart cut off all communication with Brown the day before she spoke with plaintiff's counsel. As such, defendants' argument in the instant motion is absurd. How can plaintiff's counsel be sanctioned for violating Brown's attorney-client relationship with Barnhart if no such relationship actually existed, except when defendants acknowledge their communications were cut off before any contact with plaintiff's counsel occurred? Whether Mr. Brown represented Barnhart or whether any conflict exists due to that relationship are issues for the court to determine. What is clear in the evidence is that Ms. Barnhart terminated her relationship with Brown on January 11th, the day before she spoke with plaintiff's counsel. Therefore, plaintiff's counsel could not have violated, etc. D. Defendant's request for attorney's fees is not reasonable. Okay. If the court finds plaintiff's counsel acts in bad faith in a word, okay. Says, okay, yeah. Declarations filed by plaintiffs cannot be considered excessive litigation, even assuming that the declarations were excessive. Then any award of sanctions must be limited to defendants' required response to the declarations, which does not include the instant motion for sanctions. Okay. Conclusion. For the foregoing reasons, plaintiffs request that the court deny the motions for sanctions. Oh, that's yeah, okay. All right, so there's that. And I think, yeah, the next one I already have loaded. Oh, I forgot. I never even turned my camera back on. Oops. Okay. All right, let me make this bigger. All right. Let me check the chat one more time while I'm here. Gotta go pick the kid up. We'll catch the rest when vid renders. Thanks a bunch. You're welcome. Thanks for joining us, Jolly Bridge. Okay. So this is the declaration of Elena, the co-counsel with Saltz. I'm an attorney admitted. Okay, yeah. From the beginning of my interactions with Brown, he has been unnecessarily confrontational. Because of Mr. Brown's false accusations and misstatements since the outset of this case, it is now official policy in our office that there should be at least 2 attorneys on all calls and potential witnesses and conference calls with defense counsel in this case. This, unfortunately, has caused plaintiffs additional expense. Oh, God, the irony. As stated in my declaration file, in advance of the status conference, Mr. Brown submitted a declaration containing several incorrect and or misleading statements when, upon close examination, do not match up to the record in this case. These discrepancies have also led to an increase in time and expense for plaintiffs to address. Oh, you know what? Actually, why don't I take myself out of the camera? That way you guys can see the screen better. My bad. Oh, wait, I can't take myself out though, can I? Then the volume goes. All right, never mind. Oh, wait, no, I can do this, huh? Yay. Okay. As stated in my declaration, it's... Okay, I already read that, didn't I? Yep, okay. No documents have been filed by plaintiff's counsel for an improper purpose. Multiple attorneys have been involved in the drafting and filings of pleadings. Plaintiff's counsel's interactions with Barnhart did not overlap in time with Ms. Brown's communications with Barnhart. On January 12th, Ms. Barnhart made contact with Mr. Saltz, a partner at my firm. Ms. Barnhart is a resident of Washington whose testimony was submitted to establish
not only defendants' minimum contacts in the state of Washington through income derived from Washington residents, but also to show a purported agency relationship between defendants and Washington residents. Plaintiffs did not submit Ms. Barnhart's testimony for an improper purpose, but rather to establish that jurisdiction is appropriate and to refute defendant Paulson's testimony that she has no subscribers in Washington, nor derives any income from the state of Washington, and to refute Ms. Paulson's subsequent testimony that she had only been in contact over social media with Lori Barnhart on a few occasions. Mr. Saltz connected me onto the call on January 12th so that we could interview Ms. Barnhart together. We spoke to Ms. Barnhart on a series of phone calls on January 12th that in total lasted approximately 11 hours. The interview process was so lengthy because we did not rush Ms. Barnhart during our interview, but rather gave her time and respect to tell her story. The length of the interview process also gave us time to investigate and corroborate Ms. Barnhart's statements in real time. During the January 12th telephone calls, Ms. Barnhart forwarded numerous emails to both Mr. Saltz and myself containing communications between Ms. Barnhart and Mr. Brown. I understand based on our telephonic conversations on January 12th that Ms. Barnhart's emails had potentially been hacked and or deleted prior to our call. Mr. Saltz and I reviewed and discussed the emails that Ms. Barnhart sent to us, some of which are discussed in Ms. Barnhart's declaration. Upon review of said emails, we immediately stopped our interview. I understand that. Okay. We immediately stopped the interview with Ms. Barnhart and explained that we were concerned that the contents of the emails established that an attorney-client relationship had likely been formed between Barnhart and Brown, or at the very least, a prospective attorney-client relationship had been formed. It was at this point that Ms. Barnhart told Mr. Saltz and myself that she had thought that Mr. Brown was acting as her attorney because she kept asking him for legal advice and he kept advising her. He kept saying he wanted to represent her in responding to a subpoena, and he said he wanted to help her make a record of complaints against Mr. Saltz. Ms. Barnhart mentioned to Mr. Brown that she wanted to possibly consult with legal aid. Mr. Brown dissuaded her, telling her that he would represent her at no cost. Both Mr. Saltz and I asked whether Ms. Barnhart considered Mr. Brown to still be her attorney. Ms. Barnhart indicated that she had terminated her relationship with Mr. Brown, called him a slime ball, told Mr. Brown that she was going to call Mr. Saltz, and cut off communications with Mr. Brown. Ms. Barnhart also told us that she informed Mr. Brown that she would not be signing any of his draft documents and made up an excuse that she didn't know how to download them on her phone, hoping that he would take the hint and leave her alone. Oh my God, this is funny. When we double-checked the emails Ms. Barnhart sent us and confirmed what she had told us and that her communications with Mr. Brown appeared to have been cut off on January 11th. Based on our review and conversation with Ms. Barnhart, Mr. Saltz and I were satisfied that the emails that Ms. Barnhart provided us corroborated what she said regarding the termination of any potential attorney-client relationship that existed between Ms. Barnhart and Mr. Brown. As such, we proceeded with our interview of Ms. Barnhart and our review of her documentary evidence. At a certain point in our questioning of Ms. Barnhart on January 12th, she informed us that she takes medication for her personal health issues. She later informed us that she had just taken the medicine and that the side effects will eventually make her foggy. Based on this information, Mr. Saltz and I told her that we would like to end the interview for the day and pick up again the following day when Ms. Barnhart would not be suffering any effects from the medication. I took notes during the phone calls on January 12th and drafted Ms. Barnhart's declaration based on our telephonic conversations and the voluminous documents provided by Ms. Barnhart. After I drafted Ms. Barnhart's declaration, I sent it to Mr. Saltz, who edited the document and added screenshots of the evidence provided by Ms. Barnhart during the phone calls to prove the veracity of Ms. Barnhart's statements. On January 13th, Mr. Saltz and I continued and completed the interview process with Ms. Barnhart. I subsequently transmitted a draft declaration to Ms. Barnhart via email. Mr. Saltz and I then called Ms. Barnhart again to go over the draft declaration with her. Because Ms. Barnhart had disclosed to us that she has personal health issues that cause her to have trouble focusing, Mr. Saltz took his time on the call to verbally recite the entire declaration aloud, while Ms. Barnhart physically reviewed it on her end. I followed along with the reading and informed Ms. Barnhart that if Mr. Saltz was reading too quickly at any time, that she should feel free to interrupt him and ask him to slow down. We proceeded to go over the declaration word for word, line by line, sentence by sentence, to ensure that it was accurate. I did not allow any paragraphs to go by in the declaration without stopping and checking with Ms. Barnhart to ask if the wording was accurate and if she had any edits. Ms. Barnhart did have some changes to the document, which we made. We then resent her the corrected declaration, and Ms. Barnhart subsequently executed the declaration and sent it back. I filed the document with the court later that day. Mr. Seltz and I spent approximately 5 to 6 hours on the phone with Ms. Barnhart on January 13th. There were some technical issues with Ms. Barnhart's Wi-Fi signal that day, so there were multiple telephone conversations on that date. In total, the interview process with Ms. Barnhart was approximately 16 hours. From the time of our initial phone call with Ms. Barnhart, she emphasized that time was of the essence. Specifically, Ms. Barnhart had stated that the entire purpose as to why she reached out to Mr. Brown in the first instance was because she wanted to ensure that the court record was corrected as to her identity and that the other woman bearing the same name as her, which Mr. Brown failed to do. Oh, okay. In no time did I or Mr. Seltz pressure Ms. Barnhart to execute her declaration or rush her to sign her declaration. On the contrary, we informed her that she is under no obligation to execute a declaration with our office if she did not want to execute it. We also informed Ms. Barnhart that we are not her attorneys and that we only represent the plaintiffs in this case. As with any other witness, I told Ms. Barnhart that my only request of her was that she be honest, and she is signing a document under penalty of perjury. We also informed her that we cannot advise her on any legal issues and that she is free to obtain independent counsel at any time, including before signing her declaration. Ms. Barnhart, this is 58 pages long. I just don't notice that. Wait, let me check chat. Anything in chat? Chat. Okay. Oh, wait, what's that? Okay, all right, that's old. Oh, hey, Hoot 3. Okay, all right, I'm going back. Ms. Barnhart indicated that she understood that we are not her attorneys and that she wanted to proceed, as it was her paramount desire to clear up the mix-up with the other woman bearing her same name as soon as possible. Once again, Mr. Brown has caused plaintiffs to bear unnecessary additional expense in this matter. Had he simply followed Ms. Barnhart's stated desire to contact plaintiffs' counsel to clear the mix-up up with the two identical names as soon as possible, Ms. Barnhart would more than likely not have terminated her relationship with defendant's counsel. Yet, instead of doing so, Mr. Brown used his communications with Ms. Barnhart as an opportunity to usurp the subpoena process, thus delaying discovery that Ms. Barnhart was willing to voluntarily turn over without court involvement, and to pocket the error made in the Kim Fulmer declaration to use later as a weapon against plaintiff's counsel as a surprise on a later date. The record filed by Mr. Brown confirms Ms. Barnhart had made numerous requests of Mr. Brown to ensure plaintiff's counsel knew they needed to correct the records so that the woman bearing Ms. Barnhart's same name would not be at risk of potential harassment, and made numerous statements to Mr. Brown of Ms. Barnhart's desire to voluntarily provide plaintiff's counsel with full access to her social media accounts. However, after asking Mr. Brown for nearly 3 weeks to make sure that the record was corrected with regard to the other woman bearing her same name, Ms. Barnhart became upset that Mr. Brown had not made any contact with plaintiff's counsel to inform them of the issue that he still did not know if plaintiff's counsel... Oh, wait, did I skip a line here? Of the issue that he still did not know plaintiff's counsel was aware of this issue. Further, after stating several times to Mr. Brown that she wanted to call Mr. Seltz and voluntarily provide him with access to all of her social media and mail accounts because she had nothing to hide and wanted to be done with this case, Ms. Barnhart had become upset that Mr. Brown would talk her out of doing so. To date, plaintiff's counsel has not been contacted by any member of the public agency in question or any other person named Lori Ann Barnhart in any manner whatsoever. Okay, Mr. Brown concealed his communications with Ms. Barnhart. I have reviewed numerous emails between Mr. Brown and Ms. Barnhart, dating to as early as December 24th. Mr. Brown was in contact with Ms. Barnhart when plaintiff's counsel was seeking court intervention to issue a subpoena for Ms. Barnhart's newly deleted social media accounts. Mr. Brown failed to disclose that he intended to represent Ms. Barnhart even for a limited purpose, let alone that he was in contact with her. Ms. Barnhart's competence and credibility was of no concern to Mr. Brown, as demonstrated by his attempts to procure a declaration from her. It was only after plaintiff's counsel succeeded in obtaining a declaration from Ms. Barnhart that Mr. Brown attacked her competence and credibility. Mr. Brown hid his communications with Ms. Barnhart from plaintiff's counsel, including myself, stymieing the subpoena process, and offered to object to the subpoena on Ms. Barnhart's behalf to delay discovery. Specifically, December 30th at 5:37 a.m., Ms. Barnhart informed Mr. Brown that her Twitter account is gone, quote unquote. Later that same day, I engaged in a meet and confer conference with Mr. Brown, along with Mr. Saltz and Ms. Kaplan, regarding Ms. Barnhart's missing Twitter account. At no time during the call did Mr. Brown inform us that he was in contact with Ms. Barnhart, or was in contact with Ms. Barnhart. This omission is confirmed by Mr. Brown in said email trail, wherein he indicates on December 30th at 5:55 p.m., quote, I spoke with Saltz today. They are planning to subpoena your Twitter account because they see you closed your account and they think there might be evidence there about your connection to Katie. I did not disclose that you and I are in touch. Saltz even complained to me that you threatened him via DM, unquote. In response, on December 30th at 6:18 p.m., Ms. Barnhart asked for legal advice from Mr. Brown and wrote, figures, what are your thoughts, quote unquote. Based upon the aforementioned emails, I believe that Mr. Brown did not meet and confer in good faith regarding the parties' joint status report and discovery plan, as Mr. Brown withheld material information from plaintiff's counsel. Additionally, this caused additional expense to plaintiffs as we negotiated the terms of the parties' joint status report and discovery plan, which was filed on January 4th, and a subsequently filed stipulation. In the joint status report and discovery plan, the parties agreed to stay on discovery pending the court's decision on defendant's motion to dismiss, with a specific exception for plaintiffs to issue subpoenas for Lori Ann Barnhart's social media and internet content, as well as her communications with defendants that they believe may be lost in the absence of such discovery, or of such subpoenas, unquote. On January 5th, Mr. Brown filed a stipulated order staying discovery pending resolution of defendant's personal jurisdiction challenge. That's a long title, which included this exception. Mr. Brown also did not meet and confer regarding the stipulated order staying discovery in good faith, as he was withholding material information regarding his communications with the subject of the discovery at issue, Ms. Barnhart. C. The statements made in Ms. Barnhart's declaration are either undisputed or supported by documentary evidence. The statements contained in Ms. Barnhart's declaration are supported by documentary evidence and or are undisputed in defendant's motion. Attached to is Exhibit 2 is a table of excerpts from Ms. Barnhart's declaration and supporting evidence. D. The unsigned draft documents are grossly inaccurate. The labeling of a first and second declaration in defendant's motion is a misnomer. Attached to the declaration of Mr. Brown as Exhibit E is a chart of purported differences between the three draft documents transmitted to Ms. Barnhart by Mr. Brown, the unsigned Barnhart declaration, and related correspondence juxtaposed against Mr. Brown's impressions of Ms. Barnhart's only sworn declaration. Mr. Brown's comparisons greatly mischaracterize and or misrepresent the documents. The following is a non-exhaustive list of examples of such mischaracterizations and or misrepresentations. In one of Exhibit E, Mr. Brown states that nothing in the first draft document is inconsistent with Ms. Barnhart's 1,500-word personal statement. Paragraph 3 of the draft document discusses Ms. Barnhart's prior criminal case and falsely claims that, quote, it did not involve harm or a threat of harm on any person, unquote. Ms. Barnhart's 1,500-word statement makes no mention of her criminal case and does not attempt to deny the public record. Likewise, paragraph 6 of the draft document states that Ms. Barnhart informed Mr. Saltz, quote, that he had disclosed the phone number and address of the wrong person, unquote. The 1,500-word statement does not say anything about Ms. Barnhart sending Mr. Saltz a message containing such detail. Rather, the 1,500-word statement confirms that Ms. Barnhart sent Mr. Saltz a more cryptic message that, quote, he doxed the wrong person, unquote. In 2 of Exhibit E, Mr. Brown's statement that Ms. Brown never objected to anything and was eager to sign a document with his office in its final form is belied by the fact that Ms. Barnhart ultimately did not sign the draft document and ultimately cut off communications with Mr. Brown on January 11th. Nothing Mr. Brown states with regard to 3 has any effect on Ms. Barnhart's statement that she did not tell Mr. Brown that Mr. Saltz threatened her. All right. In 3 of Exhibit E, the statement, quote, more threats directed at me, unquote, has the wrong date, is taken out of context, and is mischaracterized. This is a response to a direct message after January 1st from a friend of Ms. Barnhart who indicated, quote, He tries to make one think he's a friend, unquote. Further, the statement was not made to Mr. Brown. Ms. Barnhart confirmed during our January 12th call, after refreshing her recollection and reviewing these direct messages once again, that she was not actually threatened by Mr. Saltz. Additionally, January 1st is days after Mr. Brown informed Ms. Barnhart that a subpoena would be issued. Mr. Brown indicated on January 6th that Mr. Saltz threatened to add Ms. Barnhart to this lawsuit. Prior to Mr. Brown's January 6th email with the false threat, the record is clear that Ms. Barnhart had never told Mr. Brown that Mr. Saltz threatened her. Rather, all other references to the word quote-unquote threatened that Mr. Brown claims in his declaration to exist were contained in communications Ms. Barnhart wrote after January 6th, and were then only repeated back to Mr. Brown when he falsely informed her on January 6th. Nowhere in the 1,500-word statement sent prior to January 6th did Ms. Barnhart state therein that Mr. Saltz threatened her. The email from Ms. Barnhart then prompted Mr. Brown's response, informed Mr. Brown that Mr. Saltz only stated that Ms. Barnhart was being added to the witness list or something, unquote. Mr. Brown then mentioned the word threatened to Ms. Barnhart for the first time in response to Ms. Barnhart by stating, yeah, he threatened to add you to the lawsuit. Wow. I wonder if all that's true. I imagine it is, but I don't know. Two different stories that we get from lawyers. You kind of, one of them's kind of misconstruing some things. So I'm just kind of wonder who that is. All right. Mr. Brown also cites to page 146 that there is no such page therein. There were no threats made by Mr. Saltz to Ms. Barnhart. Subsequently, Mr. Brown sent an email on January 11th stating, it would be great if you would state that you took it as a threat and felt intimidated, etc., unquote. In 4 of Exhibit E, Mr. Brown is asking the court to discount a sworn declaration and instead rely upon unsigned draft documents prepared by his office. These statements were made at a time in which Ms. Barnhart did not have access to her Twitter account to refresh her recollection. Additionally, Mr. Brown did not ask Ms. Barnhart to reinstate her Twitter account so that he could review it to verify the accuracy of these statements. Well, you would think that he would have done that. I mean, what attorney wouldn't have done that? That's weird. In contrast, Mr. Saltz did have Ms. Barnhart reinstate her Twitter account and spent several hours with Ms. Barnhart reviewing several hundred interactions between Ms. Barnhart and Ms. Paulson. See Declaration Saltz 33. In reviewing these interactions, Mr. Saltz noticed public tweets wherein Ms. Paulson had asked Ms. Barnhart to perform tasks on her behalf. This caused Mr. Saltz to inquire further about Ms. Barnhart's interactions with Ms. Paulson, which sparked a specific set of memories regarding Ms. Paulson, asking Ms. Barnhart to issue negative reports on the YouTube videos of some of Ms. Paulson's competitors. Wait, let me check the chat real quick. And have a sec. Okay. Mr. Brown states in Ms. Barnhart's statement that Ms. Paulson knew that she lived in Washington is inconsistent with the statements in his various draft documents that Ms. Barnhart has no reason to believe Ms. Paulson knew she lived in Washington. Ms. Barnhart's 1,500-word statement told Mr. Brown, quote, I reached out to her, Ms. Paulson, around April, and I told her my life story, unquote. In addition, Ms. Barnhart informed Mr. Brown that she was Facebook friends with Ms. Paulson. This is significant because had Mr. Brown performed his due diligence, he would have learned that Ms. Barnhart's Facebook account displayed her state of residence to be in Washington. In 7 of Exhibit E, Mr. Brown matches up 2 consistent statements. Additionally, Mr. Brown did not have the benefit of the Twitter account when drafting the statements. In 8 of Exhibit E, Mr. Brown fails to account for the fact that during the interview of Ms. Barnhart, Mr. Saltz interviewed her about her 1,500-word statement and asked Ms. Barnhart by what method did she share with Ms. Paulson her quote-unquote life story. Ms. Barnhart then remembered that she did it in a lengthy email to Ms. Paulson, to which Ms. Paulson also replied via email. In 9 of Exhibit E, Ms. Barnhart shared her intimate life details in one of the first emails to Mr. Brown, not at the end of their 3-week relationship. During the telephonic conversation, Ms. Barnhart stated that she did not trust Mr. Brown because she expressly told him that it was incredibly important to her that the error in the Kim Fulmer declaration be corrected immediately. She stated that she expected Mr. Brown to contact Mr. Saltz at the earliest possible moment to advise him of the error so that Mr. Saltz would know to file something with the court to correct it. Ms. Barnhart then said that her mistrust in Mr. Brown grew over the next 3 weeks, wherein she would continuously prod Mr. Brown as to whether the issue had been addressed. All trust broke down when it became apparent that Mr. Brown was not going to contact plaintiff's counsel. In 10 of E, Mr. Brown's statements are not inconsistent with the signed declaration. Mr. Brown's statement that Ms. Barnhart was eager to sign a document with his office in its final form is belied by the fact that Ms. Barnhart ultimately did not sign the draft document and ultimately cut off communications with Mr. Brown on January 11th. Mr. Brown obviously misread the situation. It's almost like, dude, she's just not that into you. 11 of E, Ms. Barnhart's declaration is supported by her statements made to me and Mr. Saltz during a telephonic conversation on January 12th. Mr. Brown's attempt to accuse Ms. Barnhart of lying is belied by numerous documents to prove otherwise. In 12 of E, Mr. Brown attempts to change the words of paragraph 28 of Ms. Barnhart's declaration and cites to a document that does not say what Mr. Brown states that it says. As stated above, Mr. Brown's draft declarations are contradicted by the 1,500-word statement and the cryptic message Ms. Barnhart sent to Mr. Saltz. In 13 of E, Mr. Brown had evidence that the statement in his draft documents were incorrect. Ms. Barnhart only sent Mr. Saltz cryptic messages. E, Mr. Brown attempted to procure false testimony from Ms. Barnhart. On January 6, Mr. Brown transmitted 3 versions of a draft declaration to Ms. Barnhart for her review, all of which had false statements contained therein that are contradicted by the written record provided by Ms. Barnhart and or the declaration of Kim Fulmer. For instance, paragraph 2 and 3 of the draft documents transmitted by Mr. Brown to Ms. Barnhart contain false statements regarding purported interactions between Mr. Saltz and Ms. Barnhart. Specifically, the false statements are that the declaration of Ms. Fulmer was an effort to, quote, follow through on a public threat he directed at me via Twitter in November 2020, unquote, and, quote, Mr. Saltz responding by publicly threatening to make me a defendant in this case, unquote. There was no such threat. Instead, as stated above, Ms. Barnhart told Mr. Brown that Mr. Saltz was soliciting information on Twitter, unquote, and that Mr. Saltz was going to add Ms. Barnhart to a witness, quote unquote, witness list. The only threats were the fake threats invented by Mr. Brown on January 6th to scare Ms. Barnhart into falsely believing that Mr. Saltz was, quote unquote, threatening to add Ms. Barnhart to this lawsuit. All mentions of such threats by Ms. Barnhart to Mr. Brown were after Mr. Brown's January 6th email and were Ms. Barnhart repeating what she learned from Mr. Brown and not telling Mr. Brown any facts from her own personal experience. Paragraph 3 of the draft documents transmitted by Mr. Brown to Ms. Barnhart contain false statements regarding the nature of Ms. Barnhart's criminal offense, which is a matter of public record, and was equally available to Mr. Brown to confirm the contents of said record. The draft documents state that Ms. Barnhart's criminal case did not involve harm or a threat of harm on any person. Additionally, Ms. Barnhart discussed her criminal matter with Mr. Brown, yet he misstated the nature of the criminal case in the draft documents. Paragraph 9 of the draft documents transmitted by Mr. Brown to Ms. Barnhart contains the following false statement, unsupported by evidence. Quote, I informed Mr. Saltz shortly after the filing of the Fulmer Declaration that he had disclosed the phone, okay, he had doxed the wrong person. As stated above, nowhere in the record does it indicate that Ms. Barnhart informed Mr. Saltz that he had disclosed the phone number and email address of the wrong person. Paragraph 11 of the draft documents transmitted by Mr. Brown to Ms. Barnhart contains the following false statement that is contradicted by the substantial written record. Quote, my interactions with Ms. Paulson have been limited to, 1, a few brief online conversations unrelated to this matter, 2, the fact that I was a subscriber to her channel for a brief time in 2020, and 3, the fact that last week I sent her a few chats after the filing of the Fulmer Declaration. Ms. Paulson and I have never been friends and have had very little direct contact. I have not done anything to coordinate with her to hide evidence or do anything unlawful, nor do I have any reason to believe she would want me to do so. I have no reason to believe Ms. Paulson knew what state I lived in until very recently, unquote. First, paragraph 11 of the draft documents are false in regard to the statement that Ms. Barnhart does not have any reason to believe Ms. Paulson knew that she lived in Washington. As stated above, Ms. Barnhart's 1,500-word statement told Mr. Brown, quote, I reached out to Ms. Paulson around April and I told her my life story, unquote. In addition, Ms. Barnhart informed Mr. Brown that she was Facebook friends with Ms. Paulson. This is significant because, because her account says that she lives in Washington, okay. Second, Mr. Brown's attempt to have Ms. Barnhart diminish her connection to Ms. Paulson is an attempt to create a false narrative. Mr. Brown knew Ms. Barnhart had deleted her Twitter account and had not asked her to reinstate it so that he could verify the documented interactions between Ms. Barnhart and Ms. Paulson. Without actually reviewing Ms. Barnhart's Twitter account containing hundreds of interactions between Barnhart and Paulson, Mr. Brown asked Ms. Barnhart whether she would be, quote, willing to file a statement that just says you're not that Lori and that your contact with KG was limited to a few chats, unquote. Mr. Brown did not attest that he actually went over the contents of the draft document word by word, line by line, paragraph by paragraph, as plaintiff's counsel did. Moreover, Ms. Barnhart never attested under penalty of perjury as to the contents of the draft document. This is confirmed by the fact that she never executed the document. January 27th conference call. On or about the 27th, I attended a telephonic conversation call requested by Mr. Brown that lasted a total of 40 minutes, not 1 hour, as stated in Mr. Brown's time records. I wonder what he billed for that. Was it an hour, though, or like 40 minutes? No. The conference call was supposed to be regarding the following 4 anticipated motions to be brought by Mr. Brown. A, motion for sanctions under 1927, the instant motion. B, motion for Rule 11 sanctions. C, motion to shorten time on the 21-day safe harbor period for the Rule 11 motion. And D, motion to qualify Mr. Brown to continue to represent defendants. Let me just check chat again real quick. Okay. Okay. Mr. Brown's entire recantation of said discussions during the meet and confer telephone call is false. During our limited discussion about the instant motion for sanctions, Mr. Brown questioned various aspects of the signed Barnhart Declaration. Mr. Saltz told Mr. Brown during the call was that Mr. Barnhart takes medication on occasion for her personal health issues. Mr. Saltz explained that the side effect of the medication makes Ms. Barnhart foggy, quote unquote foggy. Mr. Saltz then explained to Mr. Brown that Ms. Barnhart had advised us that after speaking for approximately 11 hours on January 12th, she took her medication. Mr. Saltz told Mr. Brown that this caused us to adjourn our call on January 12th and pick back up the next day when Ms. Barnhart would be thinking more clearly. No one told Mr. Brown that Ms. Barnhart had told him a false story. Additionally, contrary to his statement in paragraph 5 of his declaration, no one told Mr. Brown that we rushed to complete the interview with Ms. Barnhart and obtain her signature. Instead, Mr. Saltz told Mr. Brown that Ms. Barnhart sought to correct the public record as quickly as possible because after 3 weeks of communications with Mr. Brown, he had not dealt with the issue. Mr. Saltz told Mr. Brown that he was more than willing to share the documents that our office reviewed in drafting the declaration. Mr. Brown did not follow up with Mr. Saltz's offer before filing his motion for sanctions. Although we had not finished substantially discussing the issues, after approximately 40 minutes, Mr. Brown indicated that his associate needed to depart the call, so the call was cut short. We did not complete the meet and confer process as to the other potential motions that Mr. Brown indicated that he wanted to bring. At the conclusion of the call, Mr. Brown did not attempt to reschedule before filing the instant motion. Okay. During the January 27th call, Mr. Brown asked about the mass flagging referenced in the signed Barnhart Declaration. I informed Mr. Brown that there were videos made about defendant instructing others to flag other YouTube channels in violations of terms of service. Subsequent to the call, I sent Mr. Brown a link to one of these videos which corroborated Ms. Barnhart's testimony in the matter, and Mr. Brown thanked me.
However, Mr. Brown pressed forward with his motion for sanctions, ignoring the evidence that we provided to him during the call, insisting that the entire declaration of Ms. Barnhart is still false, and refusing to meet and confer with us to go over the documents that plaintiffs had obtained from Ms. Barnhart in advance of the filing of his motion that confirm her truthful and corroborated statements contained therein. I declare under penalty of perjury. Okay. Okay. So this is Exhibit 1 from Lori to Brown. She says, I can talk anytime. Wait a minute. I didn't go through and redact any of these. I should probably do that, right? I mean, before I show these publicly. Going to ask you all to give me an answer here. Or I should probably at least look at them like off camera just to see. I don't know. I don't want to like dox anyone, like, especially if it's on accident. If I'm going to dox someone, I'd rather it be on purpose. No, I'm kidding. Mm-hmm. Yes, back up 55 minutes here and there on screen. Yeah, I did. No, it's clear now. Just the screen's like a little delayed here. All right, so all right, I'm going to take this. I'm going to read it off screen. Yes, I would, Aaron. This way. Okay. So I'm going to read this off screen then. What am I doing? There we go. And what page was that? 22. Damn it. Okay. All right, let's see here. Damn it, how do I get rid of this? Make this little side window go away. Hide sidebar. There we go. Okay, now you guys aren't going to be able to see these, obviously, because I'm not showing them in the video, but so I'm just going to go ahead and read what I'm going to read like the subject or whatever of them, the body. So Lori says to Brown in an email, I can talk anytime. Then on Tuesday, January 5th, Brown wrote, I'm waiting to hear back from the lawyer for the other Lori still. Would you be willing to file a statement that just says you're not that Lori and that your contact with KJ was limited to a few chats? You could also explain why you sent those tweets to Kim. It might be good to get your side of that story, quote unquote, out there. Let me know if you can talk today. Signed, Brown. What was that? It's 22. Why does it go straight to 24? Oh, I'm an idiot. That's why. Okay. Okay, Brown, on January 5th, Brown wrote, okay, I'll send the draft declaration in the morning. Will you be around tomorrow to review it? Then Brown writes to Lori on, this is December 30th. Why are we going backwards? Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is Lori to Brown. Okay, on December 30th. Figures, what are your thoughts? Then Brown wrote back, I spoke with South today. They're planning to subpoena your Twitter account. Okay, all right. We already know what that one says. December 30th from Lori to Brown. Sure, what time? Then he wrote back, can you talk on the phone today? Then then we can probably go to the tweet. Well, wait a minute. What? Huh? Okay, that's weird. Let's see if I might be able to show those. Wait a minute. Let me just take this out just in case. All right, let me go through. Oh my God, go away. What the hell just... How? Okay, there we go. All right, there's the emails. All right, so these are the tweets.
I just want to scroll through ahead and just make sure that these are things that I can just run right through and show. And it looks like they are. Okay, yeah, there's no more emails. So, so that was probably like page 25, I think. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we'll be able to see. Thanks for reading it. We appreciate it so much. You're welcome. Okay, so this is a tweet. These ones were not about Salty, though. Salty tweets, but they are helpful. Do you have any other screenshots of Lorianne sending money to KJ in any videos before the lawsuit being filed? Says, I'm not sure what this is from. Do you have any idea why they're targeting me? I haven't done anything besides defend myself and others. I have pages of them harassing me. I was watching a live of Katie today. I could not join her channel. The link wasn't working, so I sent her super chats. My Twitter account is gone. I'm trying to get away from these people. Anytime I do anything, they post it. Just FYI. Okay, it's another tweet. Lorianne's super chat about you. Salty tweets, do you know or have screenshots of what she said in the chat? We will need it as evidence in addition to what she has already sent to my DMs. Table of statements from Ms. Bernhardt declaration statement. I am resident of the state of Washington, undisputed. In the past few years, I have used the following Twitter accounts. Okay, undisputed. I initially found Ms. Paulson on Facebook in late 2019, wherein my account expressly stated that I am a resident of the city of whatever county, Washington. Ms. Paulson and I were Facebook friends through our personal Facebook accounts. Okay, so the first part's undisputed and consistent prior statement. Okay, she was Facebook friends with me too. Okay, I was a paying member of Katie Joy Paulson's Without a Crystal Ball YouTube channel from approximately January 2020 through August 2020. As a member of the Without a Crystal Ball channel, I paid $3.99 per month, not including tax. During the time period that I was a paid member of Ms. Paulson's channel from Washington, Ms. Paulson published numerous videos and other content maligning plaintiffs in this case. Okay, it's undisputed. Screenshot showing she was a member. Okay. Throughout a large portion of 2020, I was communicating with Ms. Paulson on Twitter on an extremely frequent basis, and otherwise not less than several times a week. I also communicated with Ms. Paulson via email and direct messages. Consistent prior statements. Okay. Example screenshots. Those are too small. I can't read those. I think we've also pretty much seen all these anyways. I mean, I think this is just all like reposting evidence from the past. So I'm just going to scroll through these. I was not only a staunch supporter of Katie Joy Paulson and her Without a Crystal Ball YouTube channel, I also developed a reputation of being her fierce protector. Katie Joy would brag about me being one of her ride or dies and said that if anyone came after her, she knew that I, as one of her ride or dies, would shut them down. Okay. As a further example of defendants expressly using me as their bulldog to go after Ms. Paulson's detractors and competitors that would speak negatively about defendants in or about July 2020, defendants found themselves to be the focus of significant negative attention when defendants falsely published that a very large YouTube creator was being investigated by the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department for potential sex-related crimes involving children. Oh, yeah, Sanders Kennedy.
situation. Apparently, there was never such an investigation. As such, Ms. Paulson publicly stated to another one of defendants' bulldogs that there was nothing to worry about with regard to the negative attention defendants were receiving because, quote, you and Lori will be on the hunt, unquote. Okay. I think we already heard all these, but I will continue reading unless y'all tell me otherwise. So I'm just going to come back here and check the comments. Just make sure I'm not making you listen to shit you don't want to listen to. Okay. I have reviewed Ms. Paulson's supplemental declaration in support of her motion to dismiss. At paragraph 6, she states that she had been in contact over social media with me on only a few occasions. This is false. It is also false that she did not know that I was a resident of Washington. We were Facebook friends, and my state of residence was displayed on my profile. In addition, there had been instances over the course of our communications wherein I had specifically stated to Ms. Paulson that I lived in Washington. On several occasions, Ms. Paulson asked me to do certain things for defendants, such as misflagging content of other detractors and competitors' YouTube channels. Defendants would ask me and others to help misflag competitors' YouTube channel that made negative comments about defendants in order to have their platform demonetized or taken away. Sometimes the orders to misflag someone's channel or content were made by Ms. Paulson publicly, and sometimes the orders were sent by Ms. Paulson to me in private messages on Twitter. One such account I was told to flag was Lil Red, a YouTube creator and competitor of defendants who was publishing negative comments regarding Ms. Paulson. On one occasion, I received a private message from Ms. Paulson instructing me to also flag a YouTube creator and competitor's YouTube channel named Sherelle's World. As her agent, I followed her directions as requested and reported the channels to YouTube for having inappropriate content. Oh, wait. There's... Oh, that was publicly. Okay, so this looks like a private message, though. I wanted to make sure I have the correct definition of misflagging. I think that means she... Oh, okay, never mind. I thought maybe it was a picture of her conversations with Katie for a second. I did not add myself. Okay. As to the private instruction, Ms. Paulson admits to flagging certain channels and to private conversations with Ms. Barnhart, a person to whom she previously stated she had no previous connection. Specifically in Ms. Paulson's second supplemental declaration in support of defendant's motion to dismiss, Ms. Paulson admits that this conversation took place with the caveat that she only instructed Ms. Barnhart how to flag Sherelle's video, not necessarily to flag the video, which appears to be a distinction without much of a difference. Furthermore, due to the above video's documentation of Ms. Paulson's long and unenviable history of soliciting mass flagging, it appears to plaintiffs that Ms. Paulson's attempt to distinguish her version of said conversation between herself and Ms. Barnhart is, at best, dubious and is directly inconsistent with the documented mass flagging requests in said video. Okay, defendants would also use me as their agent to perform other tasks, such as deliver messages to people on Twitter that defendants had blocked. That's just, I don't know. I remember reading that before. It's like, really? You can't just unblock the person and contact them yourself? Because she said that defendants had blocked, not that defendants had been blocked from. So, I mean, you can't just drop the block and contact them yourself. You have to keep that up and send someone else to do your dirty work. I mean, wow. Below is a true and correct copy of a screenshot of a Twitter conversation wherein Ms. Paulson gave me such an instruction to perform on her behalf. Wait a minute. Okay, sorry. Okay. Do you blame her? Send me your pic so I can blow it up and pick you apart. Let me judge your parenting, your marriage. A person can only take so much. Her guard is up, but it is coming down. Katie writes, let her know this is... Oh, okay, I see. Let her know this is why she's blocked, because I know she's trolling. Okay. Each and every time I was asked to do something or did something on behalf of, for, or at the request of defendants, I was physically located in Washington. Again, this was a fact I did not hide from defendants and, to the best of my recollection, frequently disclosed to defendants. In August 2020, I began to disagree with the toxic environment Ms. Paulson was creating with her content. As such, I began to distance myself from being defendant's agent that would do defendant's bidding and defending, and I canceled my paid membership to defendant's YouTube channel. Okay, just double check the chat here.
Okay. Okay, just a bunch of tweets. Oh, Julie Virgo, there you are. Okay. Miss Paulson was disappointed in the separation and said that she adores me no matter what happens. It is my understanding that the statement establishes that the connection that I had with defendants in general, and Miss Paulson in particular, was far more significant than what Miss Paulson represented in her declaration to the court. It's a screenshot of a tweet. Katie writes, I can't see Kathy's response. Oh, I think this references one up above. What Joe is doing now isn't okay with me. Lori says, I haven't seen any proof of Joe doing anything since she apologized. I've seen a lot of threats made directly to her in chats, though. But moving on, it's not my issue to be concerned with. Katie writes, Lori, I adore you. You know that. That doesn't change. Specifically on August 14th, a creator named Unirock, oh, God. Oh, really? He's never going to shut up about being mentioned now. Creator named Unirock posted a live stream video called Livescope with Kate without a crystal ball. At approximately 56 minutes, Miss Paulson says, Lori is so mad at me for literally trying to end drama with, I'm sorry I disappointed you, Lori. I am, with Leslie. But I have to do this for myself, and I have to move forward. And just like I can't, I couldn't stay mad at Kyle forever. Actually, a good friend of mine, I was friendly with Leslie. I don't know why anyone wants to perpetuate this drama. At approximately 70 minutes into the video, Ms. Paulson says, quote, this proves my point. Now Lori's saying that certain other people are looking better every day, unquote. Remarkably, Ms. Paulson is so familiar and connected with Ms. Barnhart that she can spot when someone is trying to pretend to be Ms. Barnhart and recognize which person is the real Lori Ann and which person is the fake Lori Ann. We all just had like some shady go through our head right there. At approximately 78 minutes into the video, Ms. Paulson states, quote, there are two Lori Anns in here. There's someone that's fake, unquote. Also see, my attention was brought to a video on defendants, whatever, channel entitled 100K Celebration Stream. Join the conversation, which was uploaded to said channel on January 9th. And watching said video, I personally witnessed at approximately 35 minutes therein, a person I know to be defendant Paulson display on her video screen a message from Lori Ann's YouTube account, along with a picture of a person I had verified through Google's face recognition search feature to be Lori Ann Barnhart. I then heard defendant Paulson simultaneously say, oh, this one, Lori, don't ever get into it with Lori. Lori remembers your names. Lori is the catalog. Lori didn't like me at one point, and now she is my best friend, unquote. All right, screenshot. Okay, quote, though I canceled my membership, I still remained friendly with Ms. Paulson after this lawsuit was filed in October. As a result of my continued friendship with Ms. Paulson and my prior reputation of being a staunch protector, bulldog of Ms. Paulson, I started to receive messages from people on Twitter who were trying to discredit me. In their efforts to discredit me, on or about November 5th, people had stated not only that I lived in the state of Washington, but because I had previously made it generally known that I previously worked for the government, that I was the person publicly listed on the internet as Lori Ann Barnhart that worked at the Department of Transportation. Although that person listed on the website for the Washington Department of Transportation has the exact name as me and is a government employee from the same state as me, that is not me. However, I did not publicly correct these people, Twitter, who published this information on or about November 5th, as if it were fact, and otherwise allowed them to continue to believe that I worked for the Department of, guessing it's going to say transportation. Consistent statements. Oh, I see. All right, it's just someone tweeting about that. Okay. Department of Transportation. Instead, I am a retired administrator for a federal agency. As such, I take responsibility for my part in allowing this misunderstanding to be accepted as fact, and for that, I apologize. Throughout 2020, I had communicated with Ms. Paulson through email, social media, direct messages, and live chats. As stated above, and while I was a paying member, we regularly communicated multiple times per week. In fact, Ms. Paulson and I were Facebook friends, where my account expressly stated that I am a resident of whatever, Washington. I have shared some of my most intimate secrets via email with Ms. Paulson, including personal information about mental health issues, which is something I would not have done with someone that was merely an acquaintance. More screenshots. All right. Oh, okay, screenshots for everything I just read, basically. All right. What do you got here? Creator named Unirect posted a live stream called Live Scope with. Okay. All right, we already read that. Okay, on or about December 2nd, after defendants filed the motion to dismiss, Ms. Paulson became distant, and it appeared to me that Ms. Paulson was attempting to minimize our connection to one another. I have reviewed Ms. Paulson's declaration that she filed along with the motion to dismiss, and paragraph 6 of her declaration appears to be false. Specifically, perhaps we were not best friends, as she stated we were in her June 9th video, but we were significantly closer than the average fan or paid member. This is especially so given that she had reached out to me in the state of Washington to perform tasks on defendants' behalf, such as flag other competitors' YouTube accounts, and had publicly endorsed me as my being her bulldog against her detractors. Ms. Paulson knew that she had subscribers and paying members, including me, in the state of Washington. I began to see Ms. Paulson's propensity for dishonesty while at the same time observing that she was creating distance for what I can only imagine was to conceal a close relationship with a member/subscriber from the state of Washington and to falsely inform the court that she is unaware of any connection with the state of Washington. I have reviewed the declarations of Kim Fulmer and Saltz filed in support of plaintiff's opposition to defendant's motion to dismiss. I can hereby certify that, except for the statement at paragraph 10 of Kim Fulmer's declaration regarding me working at DOT, the statements in the declarations appear to be accurate. That said, I have done and said many things in my past that I regret and have previously okay. Profoundly sorry to, okay. All right, yeah. Okay. These videos are on Instagram. Okay. All right, where are we? Check chat real quick. I might have to take a break in a minute. Guilty as charged. Actually, it sounds like I'm going to have to take a break just for a second. I got to take my dog out. She's starting to get restless. But the real Lori and David Aaron, I couldn't get it typed. I'm sorry. All right, give me a minute. I will be right back. If someone else wants to come on and I don't know, hang out and chat, let me know quick, just to keep it going while I'm letting the dog out quick. I don't know. I still have to be here to let you on. Oh wait, it might be nice if I put the link in there too. All right, I'm just going to take the dog out because she's getting restless. So I will be right back. I'm going to mute me too so you guys don't have to hear her go to the bathroom. There. Okay. All right, I'm back. Let me just check the chat here real quick. Okay. Oh, all right, I'm back. I'm still on YouTube on my phone. I'm drinking Mountain Dew. I'm sleeping anyways. I used this opportunity to let my dog out too. Awesome. Oh my God, thank you for the super chat, KDD. Thanks for staying up to read these. You're welcome. Thanks for being here to listen. All right, I'm gonna go back to reading, but if the chat's moving fast or whatever, because there's like almost 300 people watching, I don't know how many people are chatting though. But if you think it needs to be put on slow mode, I'll just say something, tag me, and I'll see it when I come back and check the comments. Okay, so let's go back. From the very first interaction I had with Mr. Brown, I felt he was being misleading. He led me to believe that plaintiffs filed their opposition right before Christmas to intentionally mess with me, and not because that was a court-imposed deadline. On December 30th, see, everything here on the right is just explaining how, like, where you can find this said, how it's confirmed or whatever. So, on December 30th, 2020, Mr. Brown informed me that the plaintiff's counsel was planning to subpoena my Twitter account, which caused me concern. He stated, "They think there may be evidence there about your connection to Katie. I did not disclose that you and I are in touch. Saltz even complained to me that you threatened him via DM." Mr. Brown thereafter sought to have me sign a declaration on behalf of defendants that did nothing more than attack and malign plaintiff's counsel, which I thought to be inappropriate and ultimately did not do. By way of example, Mr. Brown, in an email dated the 24th at 3:38 p.m., tried to encourage me to file state bar complaints against one of plaintiff's attorneys and otherwise suggest that I should precede plaintiff's counsel's private attempts to informally obtain information from me as a threat. On January 6th, at 6:18 p.m., Mr. Brown sent me an email stating that he made a signature page separate from the rest of the declaration so that he could make changes and I would not have to re-sign the declaration if he made tweaks. Mr. Brown also informed me that plaintiff's counsel was going to serve me with a subpoena to preserve my social media accounts. Where are they, Bob? Accounts that I had deleted, and to provide plaintiffs with access to any remaining communications that I may have had with Ms. Paulson. I said that I was going to go to legal aid to get legal assistance with responding to the subpoena. On January 8th, I informed Mr. Brown that I was willing to turn over my accounts to plaintiff's counsel in order to resolve this issue. Mr. Brown suggested to me via email on January 8th that I should object to the subpoena for the purpose of delaying my response to the subpoena, which upset me because I did not want to delay my exit from this case for any reason. Mr. Brown stated in an email to me dated January 10th at 6:13 p.m., "I am preparing something to file tomorrow that addresses what they did to you, but does not require you to file any statement if you don't want to. I want the court to know what he's doing to harass you. I can't guarantee that the judge will do anything about it, but I want to try." Sorry, I'm looking for a hair tie here. So I can put my hair up. Okay. But I want to try. "His behavior is disgusting. I recommend that you sit tight, accept service if they come to your door, and then we can take it from there. You are not in any trouble." Such statement confirmed to me that I apparently was a client of Mr. Brown's, and that I understood his statement to mean that he was inserting himself into my situation of having to respond to a subpoena. On January 11th, Mr. Brown thereafter offered to represent me at no charge in responding to said subpoena, stating, "You don't need to spend money or hire a lawyer to respond to the subpoena or file a declaration. I'd like to stand up for you by filing your declaration if you let me. It costs you nothing." This statement made me very suspicious of Mr. Brown's motives, as it was my understanding that a truthful and honest response to the subpoena would not be in defendant's best interest, but would otherwise be in mine. Specifically, I was not comfortable with having Mr. Brown controlling the production of my documents and or other evidence that would likely be detrimental to defendant's pending motion attacking jurisdiction and ultimately defendant's defenses to plaintiff's claims.
I did not feel comfortable with Mr. Brown's offer of representation and stated intent to file objections solely for the purposes of delaying of the subpoena. I also did not feel comfortable that Mr. Brown proceeded to give me legal advice in this case regarding how to respond to discovery and what I should say in the state bar complaints that he was encouraging me to file against plaintiff's counsel. I was concerned that there would be a conflict of interest in representing me and Ms. Paulson because the information that I would be providing would contradict the statements Ms. Paulson made in her declarations and therefore would be contrary to her interests. At no time prior to giving me legal advice did Mr. Brown advise me of any potential or actual conflicts of interest with regard to his representation of the defendants and myself as a potential witness against defendants. All I wanted to do was to make sure that everyone knew the person with my name working at the Washington DOT was not me after the declaration of Kim Fulmer was filed. I wholeheartedly did not expect that defendant's counsel would attempt to use me so blatantly as a pawn in such an inappropriate way. I also did not feel comfortable with Mr. Brown wanting me to sign a declaration stating that I was threatened by Mr. Saltz when Mr. Saltz has not threatened me, nor have I ever told Mr. Brown that Mr. Saltz threatened me. Specifically, holy shit, that scared me. My AirPod just shut off. Specifically, Mr. Brown stated, "We are filing something today that addresses the threat Saltz recently made to you. It would be great if you would state that you took it as a threat and felt intimidated." Based on the overall impression that Mr. Brown left with me during my interactions with him during the past few weeks, I cut off all communications with defendants and defendants' attorneys. To be certain, I was shocked and horrified that defendants and their attorneys, who were apparently supposed to be looking out for my best interest, especially since they said they were representing me in this matter, ignored my express request to speedily take action to correct the record in regard to the false attribution of my employment, which was my fault, and instead hide the error from plaintiffs for their tactical advantage. Despite that Mr. Brown knew about the error since December 24th, defendants and defendants' counsel have apparently done nothing to inform plaintiffs' counsel to correct the error, which is expressly against my wishes. I therefore reached out to plaintiffs' counsel by telephone for the first time on January 12th to give them the foregoing information for the purposes of setting the record straight, and to inform them for the first time about the existence of the facts contained in this declaration. And okay, yay, that's it. Okay. There's more. All right. Let me pull it up. So it was one. So we got this one now. All right. So close that one. All right, let me check chat real quick. Lord, no Eminem songs. KJ would be claiming two rappers wrote songs about her then. Word. Okay, looks good. Okay, so what is this? Declaration of Michael Saltz in support of plaintiff's opposition to defendant's motion for sanctions. 1 second, let me take a sip of soda. Okay. I also blow my nose, so I may not be turning the camera back on tonight. All right, so here we go. I, Michael J. Saltz, hereby state as follows. I am an attorney admitted, whatever, okay.
Okay, that's who he is. Initial interactions with Miss Barnhart prior to. Have we already like read all this or whatever at some point throughout like his previous declarations regarding Lori? I mean, I don't care. I'll read it, but I just don't want to like read shit that's kind of like redundant or whatever and just like bore the hell out of you guys. So I am going to go ahead and start reading, but I'm going to at the end of this page maybe stop and check the chat and see what you all say. So I'll be back in a minute to check. Okay. Initial interactions with Miss Barnhart. Prior to filing the complaint in this case, I personally had never heard of Lori and Miss Barnhart. However, shortly after the filing of said lawsuit, Miss Barnhart took to Twitter on or about November 4th and accused me of being an imposter and that impersonating an attorney was a crime. It was funny. I responded by telling her that I was, in fact, a real attorney and invited her to our offices to come meet me and our legal team. Ms. Barnhart wrote back that she was of the belief that professionals were not on Twitter and that she certainly would not send information to an attorney over Twitter. I responded to Ms. Barnhart that my address, email address, and telephone number were on the pleadings of which she had tweeted a copy, and that my invitation to come meet us and help us collect evidence stands. Ms. Barnhart then wrote back that I should thank her for sharing my information since my Twitter account is not verified and I am followed by random accounts with unusual names. I then thanked her for believing in us. Ms. Barnhart then responded that I should get Twitter to verify my account. I then responded to Ms. Barnhart that I did not personally know how to get a Twitter account verified, but that I would not be opposed to it. I also asked Ms. Barnhart if she knew how I could start the verification process. Ms. Barnhart said she did not. Below are true and correct screenshots of this initial interaction between myself and Ms. Barnhart. Okay. Just checking chat here. Yeah, I think this one, though, I think it's like mostly screenshots. I don't know. Okay, cool. Alrighty, so here are the screenshots. Lorianne, perhaps I had some info on Katie I wanted to send. I certainly wouldn't send it through this Twitter account. I would want the actual firm. I've dealt with a lot of federal lawsuits while working for the federal government. Professionals aren't on Twitter. My email has been posted a few times. It is also on the section of the pleading that you tweeted, along with my office address and office phone number. My invitation still stands. You can help us collect more evidence throughout the night. Bring food. Would it be the next one? You can thank me for sharing your... Okay. You can thank me for sharing your information since your Twitter account isn't verified and you follow random accounts like a Harry Paul, someone with a green face, a panty liner, etc. Very professional. Maybe read the letter you were sent. Salt says, I did. It cites state court rules, and we are in federal court. And thank you for believing in us. We have been receiving a ton of messages and emails giving us information and evidence. If Trump has taught us anything, it's that Twitter is an effective way to reach people. He's true. Maybe get a verified account, then, since you're such a big bad attorney. Believe it or not, I have no idea how that works. I only know about the data side of Twitter because of needing information from Twitter in a criminal contempt proceeding I pursued in Iowa. I would not be opposed to it. Do you know how that works? Are you verified too? No, I don't. I am not anyone that needs to be verified. You should be and have your professional information included. That's why I shared your information. Anyone can impersonate anyone on Twitter and receive documents intended for you and only you. At no time during this interaction did I threaten Ms. Barnhart or tell her that we were going to make her a party to this lawsuit. In fact, it was my understanding that Ms. Barnhart's Twitter attacks aimed at myself had been diffused with our Twitter conversation ended in a collegial and courteous manner. I've never stated or threatened that I would add Ms. Barnhart to the lawsuit. The Kim Fulmer Declaration. After the Twitter interaction with Ms. Barnhart, I began to look into Ms. Barnhart. I eventually learned that Ms. Barnhart was a longtime supporter of defendant Katie Joy Paulson and that she lived in the state of Washington. I was also informed that Ms. Barnhart was purportedly an employee of a state agency, a fact Ms. Barnhart did not publicly deny or expressly correct despite having the opportunity to do so. Below is a true and correct copy of a redacted screenshot from Twitter making said then unrefuted claim that Ms. Barnhart was an employee of a state agency.
Professionals aren't on Twitter, lol. Well, Miss Barnhart is supposed to be a professional herself. She is an employee of the Washington DOT, which is a government agency. Okay. She's conducting herself like a child. Okay. This information became relevant after Ms. Paulson filed a motion to dismiss for lack of personal jurisdiction, which was accompanied by a sworn declaration from Ms. Paulson containing the following statements at paragraph 4 therein, quote, "To my knowledge, neither I nor Without a Crystal Ball has any sponsors or subscribers in Washington. To my knowledge, neither I nor Without a Crystal Ball derives any income from the state of Washington," unquote. In or about December 2020, I was informed by a former moderator in Ms. Paulson's video chats, Kim Fulmer, that Ms. Barnhart had previously threatened her purportedly due to a related dispute Ms. Fulmer had with Ms. Paulson. I was informed that Ms. Fulmer investigated Ms. Barnhart and found that Ms. Barnhart was a resident from the state of Washington and had a public Washington criminal record, and that Ms. Barnhart's name appeared on a publicly available list of state agency employees. Ms. Fulmer's inclusion of the top page of the charging documents in her declaration was for the proper purpose of establishing, 1, that Ms. Barnhart is a Washington resident and has been a Washington resident for several years, and 2, that Ms. Fulmer's stated fear for her safety stemming from Ms. Barnhart's purported threats was reasonable based upon Ms. Barnhart's history. Below is a screenshot I obtained from Ms. Barnhart's Twitter account regarding Ms. Barnhart's stated position on the matter on August 22nd. Lori tweets, "I cannot say much because I myself have said a lot of mean things, which I take full responsibility for, but that doesn't make it excusable. I see it all now. I don't know why they did that last night. It certainly isn't going to help the situation." Further, Ms. Fulmer's declaration intentionally left out the details of the actual acts described in said charging documents, including that they involved actual physical harm to a person and the fact that Ms. Barnhart completed a diversion program to get said charges dismissed. Messages from Ms. Barnhart after the Fulmer Declaration. The day after the Fulmer Declaration was filed on December 24th, I received unsolicited direct messages to my Twitter account from Ms. Barnhart. Ms. Barnhart never told me that she did not work for a state agency or that Ms. Fulmer incorrectly stated that she did. Ms. Barnhart then sent me another direct message on Twitter on December 25th, which was cryptic in nature and was taken by me as a threat rather than as notice that any information in the Fulmer Declaration was inaccurate. In the December 25th message, Ms. Barnhart stated that Ms. Fulmer and I, quote, "doxed the wrong person again. You will hear about it next week," unquote. However, no further detail was ever provided by Ms. Barnhart with regard to what was meant by said message, and Ms. Barnhart never clarified that she did not work for a state agency. I did not respond to Ms. Barnhart's messages as she had instructed me not to. Likewise, prior to receiving said messages, I had made no effort to contact Ms. Barnhart after responding to her efforts to initiate contact with me on Twitter in early November 2020. Below are true and correct screenshots of the relevant portions with provided screenshots of said direct messages from Barnhart to myself. So she wrote to Salty, "I suggest you stop doxing me and accusing me of doing things I haven't done. All those trolls that you surround you are the harassers. You call yourself a professional, yet you allowed your troll army to dox me. Unless you have proof I have done anything even close to illegal, you best stop it. You have already doxed me, and I don't even know who the hell Tati is, nor have I supported Katie for months because I was harassed and stalked. If anyone in my family or is harassed because you have doxed me out of malice and nothing more, it will be on you. False accusations aren't cute. These screenshots are just a very small amount. I was harassed by about 30 people just because I stood up for her. Damn right, I will stand up for myself and my fault just like anyone else in the world. You and Kim Fulmer doxed the wrong person again. You will hear about it next week. Please stop harassing me. I've already asked you to leave me alone." Okay. Checking chat real quick. Yeah, if anyone does want to get my attention or whatever, just make sure you tag me because I'm just scrolling up looking for the orange. If I don't see the orange, then I go back and start reading. Okay. Ms. Barnhart had a private Twitter account to which I did not have access. I cannot view any tweets she may have made to that account, including any tweets about me allegedly, quote-unquote, doxing the wrong person. Ms. Barnhart expressly informed Mr. Brown several times that she had privated her Twitter account and that only people she followed on Twitter could view her postings on her Twitter page. Prior to January 12th, Ms. Barnhart never informed me, and I did not know that the Lori Barnhart identified by Ms. Fulmer was working at a state government agency was not the real Ms. Barnhart. Go ahead, Lou Red. Go ahead, type it. My January 4th declaration. After the timely filing of plaintiff's opposition papers to defendant's motion to dismiss, Ms. Paulson posted on social media a false narrative about her connection to Ms. Barnhart. One specific tweet purportedly published by Ms. Paulson on December 30th to the public responded to the contents of plaintiff's opposition papers by stating, quote, "I have no connection to Lori Ann," unquote. Below is a true and correct copy of a screenshot I obtained of said tweet. I have no connection to it. Okay. Okay. However, at the time of said tweet, our office was already investigating evidence that had just come to light the evening of December 29th that Ms. Barnhart's connection with Ms. Paulson was more significant than what Ms. Fulmer attested to in her declaration. This included, but was not limited to, the fact that Ms. Barnhart had been a paid member of Ms. Paulson's YouTube channels, a fact which otherwise appears to directly negate Ms. Paulson's previous statements to this court that she does not derive any income from Washington. What is more, on or about December 29th, Ms. Barnhart deleted all of her social media accounts, thus effectively obliterating any and all public displays of Ms. Barnhart's connection to Ms. Paulson and all direct messages on Twitter that Ms. Barnhart had with Ms. Paulson. It is my personal experience that direct messages on Twitter delete and disappear from my account whenever the account with whom I have communicated deactivates their account. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. This means that the act of deactivating Ms. Barnhart's account not only obliterated her Twitter direct message conversation with me, but it would have obliterated her Twitter direct message conversations with Ms. Paulson from her Twitter account as well. On December 30, I participated in a meet and confer call with Mr. Brown. Ms. Elena Levine, and Ms. Susan Kaplan were also in attendance. During the call, I explained to Mr. Brown and Ms. Barnhart that Ms. Barnhart had deleted all of her social media accounts the night before. I also explained to Mr. Brown that we are aware that Ms. Paulson has communicated directly with Ms. Barnhart on Twitter, and that if we do not get Twitter to preserve the data from Ms. Barnhart's account within 30 days of the account's deletion, all of the data from Ms. Barnhart's account becomes permanently unrecoverable. As such, we expressly told Mr. Brown that to the extent that he was requesting that the parties stipulate to stay discovery in this matter pending the court's ruling on jurisdiction, we needed to carve out an exception to the discovery stay for Ms. Barnhart. Mr. Brown then stated that he would agree to carve out an exception to this discovery stay to allow plaintiffs to subpoena Ms. Barnhart's social media account information. At no time during the call did Mr. Brown disclose that he had been in regular direct contact with Ms. Barnhart for approximately a week, or that the person working at the state government agency was not the real Ms. Barnhart. Communications with Ms. G. On or about January 1st, I noticed a tweet wherein a person using a Twitter account belonging to someone that I will simply identify as Ms. G was stating that she had lost contact with Ms. Barnhart and was concerned about her. I responded to Ms. G privately via a direct message on Twitter. Below are true and correct copies of screenshots I obtained from my Twitter account of said conversations I had with Ms. G, redacted to protect health information. And these say, from Salty, if you are a friend of Lori Ann, then can you tell her that we are not here for her? However, because of her actions of inserting herself into our case, she is now a witness. As such, it is better to cooperate with us and to tell us what she knows privately and voluntarily. Otherwise, we will be going to the court to force her to testify and hand over documents. And if she deleted documents and evidence, she could get into trouble for that. We want to avoid all of that. Find out what she knows and let her go. Thank you in advance for being a good friend to Lori Ann. It's obvious you care about her. So Ms. G then writes, I do care about her. She's been very kind to me. I only know her online. She suspended her Twitter account and none of us can contact her. I'm extremely worried about her health and there's nothing I can do. If she opens her Twitter account, I will tell her what you've stated here. Salt says, thank you. Ms. G says, you're welcome. Her health is my utmost priority. Understood. Salty says, I pray that you're looking out for Lori Ann. She suddenly blocked me yesterday. I am really worried about her. Okay. At no time did I intend to threaten Ms. G or Ms. Barnhart in these communications. In fact, Ms. G confirmed that her perception of the conversation was that I was trying to be, quote unquote, a friend, which by definition is not threatening.
After Ms. Barnhart's signed declaration was filed with this court, and during a time period, I had been granted access to Ms. Barnhart's Twitter account to document messages and tweets. I reviewed direct messages from Ms. G to Ms. Barnhart in which Ms. G stated that Mr. Brown attempted to get Ms. G to sign a declaration accusing me of harassment. Below are true and correct redacted copies of screenshots I obtained of said Twitter conversation. Was this from Miss G to Barnhart? Okay, so this would be Miss G. You're going to be okay. I'm sorry for being so cold before. I felt betrayed. I was trying to help you. When you said you talked to Salts, I told Michael. That's why my declaration would not have worked. It would have looked like I lied when I said Salts harassed you and you feared him. I feel the worst is behind you. She used you. I'm guessing Katie used Lori. She said all of that about Toddy. She's lied, doxed, and manipulated so many. If she has to pay, so be it. She accused me of playing games and deliberately putting off signing the declaration. Nasty bitch, so cold. I'm loving this, guys. I don't know about you. Do you understand? I wasn't trying to help Katie. I didn't give two shits about her. She wasn't my friend ever. You are my friend. Watching your declaration on Emily Baker, didn't realize it was out. I feel dumb. So effing glad I did not get involved legally. Oh, more. Yay. Her attorney kept wanting more information. I couldn't provide proof. Thank you, Jesus. He did say he never wanted another YouTube case. Lori writes, I'm guessing it's Lori. I'm going back into hiding so I can take care of myself, get rid of toxic energy. Miss G, they tried to get me to do a different declaration. I told them no. Okay. Miss Barnhart contradicted plaintiff's counsel. Let me check chat quick. Okay. All right. On or about January 10th at approximately 7:54 p.m., just 2 minutes after Miss Barnhart called Mr. Brown a slime ball in an email to him, Miss Barnhart sent me a series of direct messages to my Twitter account from an alternate account belonging to her. In these messages, she gave me her phone number and said that she, quote, sees what is happening now, unquote, and invited me to call her. She said that she had previously called Mr. Brown and said that she, quote, got sucked in and believed him too, unquote. She said that she had no problem giving me access to her social media accounts and that she did not have anything to hide. She apologized for previously being rude to me and stated that she would answer any questions that we have. Below are true and correct copies of screenshots I obtained from my Twitter account of said messages sent to me from Ms. Barnhart. So Lori writes, this is Lori. You can call me if you like. I see what is happening now. I have no problem giving you access to my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I don't use Snapchat. My Instagram is just a sock account. I used to watch Instagram live videos, but you can have it. So everyone turned their focus on me and tried to entice me to say or do something. They wanted me to lash out. I could never figure out why everyone wanted to be my friend and why I had so many people wanting to follow me. Wow, I've been the idiot this whole time. Then I contacted Katie's lawyer and got sucked in and believed him too. You know, I think for the first time throughout all of this crap, and just even knowing Lorianne, this is the first time like I actually feel bad for her. I felt I was being harassed. Since my post on May 2nd, I don't recall making any threats, but you can look. The worst stuff about me is everything Real Housewife gave you. I did say if people kept at me, I have people that will stick up for me. It would be easier to just give you full access and not just what I shared with Katie. I can do that. I just don't know how to do it myself. I don't have anything to hide. I'm not hiding documents or anything for Katie. She doesn't have my phone number. I was never in her Discord or a mod for her. The only Discord I was in were the two that Housewife was in. I did have another Discord account before, but I didn't use it. I was invited into one that was ran by a man named Heretic, but I never made comments. I looked at it maybe 2 times. Police were calling CPS, calling the police, posting pics, people were calling CPS, calling the police, posting pics of people's houses and saying they weren't safe, showing pictures of their guns, etc. I was afraid. I live alone except for my son that I had part-time, and that made me feel vulnerable. I was tired of being ganged up on and bullied, but it never went beyond that. If I've done anything illegal, I will certainly take responsibility for it. If me saying that my friends and family will stand up for me and my kids is a crime, then so be it. Any questions, just ask and let me know the easiest and fastest way I can give you access to my accounts. Because I do not accept direct messages on my Twitter account from unknown accounts, the above messages from Ms. Barnhart were held in a spam filter that I did not check until the morning of January 12th. Once I saw these messages, I texted Ms. Barnhart's number on January 12th at 7:38 a.m. to inform her that I received her messages and to inquire about a convenient time to schedule a call. Ms. Barnhart texted me back at 9:38 a.m. on January 12th that she could immediately talk and then proceeded to call my cell phone. Below is a true and correct screenshot of said text messages that I had with Ms. Barnhart on January 12th. Hi, Lori, this is Michael Saltz. This is my cell phone number. I got your messages. Let me know when it would be a good time for you to talk. I can talk now. My phone seems to be okay now. As soon as Ms. Barnhart called me, I joined Ms. Levine to the call so that I would have an additional witness to help document the conversation. Ms. Levine and I spoke with Ms. Barnhart for approximately 11 hours on the phone on January 12th and approximately 5 to 6 hours on January 13th. During that time, we assisted Ms. Barnhart in reinstating her Blood Tall Twitter account, which took a few hours. Although we were able to reinstate her Twitter account, we were unable to recover the direct messages. In addition to reinstating one of Barnhart's Twitter accounts, her other Twitter accounts, which she also used to communicate with Ms. Paulson, could not be reinstated. Ms. Barnhart forwarded a number of emails between herself and Mr. Brown for our review. Ms. Barnhart stated that she was uncertain as to whether she had the capability of forwarding to Ms. Levine and myself all of her email communications with Mr. Brown because she had been the victim of hackers after she cut off ties with Mr. Brown and that they were in her email accounts deleting emails. Below is a true and correct copy of a screenshot of the message I received from Ms. Barnhart, wherein she stated that she believed that hackers were actively in the process of deleting emails from her email account as we were speaking. Lori writes, I think they're in the process of deleting email from my other account. Ms. Barnhart also frequently told us, both orally and in writing, that we had her full permission to review her social media accounts and emails so that we could verify and confirm everything she was telling us. Ms. Barnhart also confirmed that Mr. Brown never reviewed or asked to review Ms. Barnhart's social media accounts and or email accounts to independently confirm any of the information that Mr. Brown wanted Ms. Barnhart to proclaim on defendant's behalf. Below are true and correct copies of the screenshot. Okay. So Lorianne writes, I give you permission to track me. I think they are. So I want you to have the ability if you ever want to. Thank you. It's okay. I don't mind if you inspect my phone records and messages too, so you can verify I haven't spoke to Katie or messaged her. I just want to be believed. Thank you for clearing that up. Same with me. Oh yeah, okay. This is text between Lorianne and Salty. Okay. I just want to be believed. Thank you for clearing that up. Same with all my apps. Salty. Thank you for the offer. We believe you. You've been forthright and honest. That's all we can ask. Okay. To be certain, Ms. Barnhart stated to me in a text message that she has a tendency to initially jump to conclusions based upon her feeling intimidated by people or stressed. As such, Ms. Barnhart apologized for this trait and said that she should quote, should come with a disclaimer, unquote, and stated that she very much appreciated that Ms. Levine and I were taking the time to go through her documents and social media history and posts with her to refresh her recollection of facts and events that had verifiably happened. Below is a true and correct copy of a screenshot of a text message I received from Ms. Barnhart. As you can tell, I jumped to conclusions a lot. I apologize for that. I should add a disclaimer. At the beginning of our conversations with Ms. Barnhart, she explained to us that she has certain personal health issues. As such, I knew that it was important to treat Ms. Barnhart with patience and respect, and therefore Ms. Levine and I remained on the phone with Ms. Barnhart for approximately more than 11 hours on the first day, carefully going over documents with her in real time to make sure she understood everything we were asking of her and so that she did not feel overwhelmed or alone in the process. During the call, Ms. Levine and I reviewed Ms. Barnhart's emails with Mr. Brown and noticed that it appeared an attorney-client relationship, or at the very least, a prospective client relationship had been formed between her and Mr. Brown. Based thereon, Ms. Levine and I halted our inquiries until Ms. Barnhart could convince us that she had terminated her relationship with Mr. Brown. Mr. Barnhart then confirmed to us that she ended her relationship with Mr. Brown, called Mr. Brown a slime ball, and cut off communications with Mr. Brown. Based thereon, it was our understanding that Ms. Barnhart had terminated her relationship with Mr. Brown prior to speaking with us. During our conversation with Ms. Barnhart, I asked her if she would reinstate her Twitter account so that we can assure the data therein would not be lost. Ms. Barnhart did so, which took several hours. She then gave me her login information so that I could view her Twitter account information. I personally signed into and went through a significant portion of the history of Ms. Ms. Barnhart's at Bloodtail Twitter account. In doing so, I reviewed hundreds of instances where Mr. Barnhart and Ms. Paulson interacted and communicated publicly with one another. Specifically, I personally saw that starting in or about January 20th to August 20th, 2020, Ms. Barnhart and Ms. Paulson interacted almost every week and sometimes several times a day. Attached here to is Exhibit 1 is a small sampling of screenshots of just some of the interactions between Ms. Paulson and Ms. Barnhart on Twitter that I obtained from Ms. Barnhart's Twitter account with her permission. Ow, oops. At one point, Ms. Paulson also made a deliberate effort to inform Ms. Barnhart that Ms. Paulson followed Ms. Barnhart on Twitter. Below are true and correct copies of screenshots that I obtained from the Twitter account with permission. If you follow me from a protective account and tweet to me, I can't see you. Lorianne writes, sorry, I just now saw this. This is not about you. It's about me. I have plenty of protection. Don't need it from anyone here. I will make it clear to everyone that I stand alone. I have unfollowed you. I won't be bullied. I won't be bullied. Katie writes, I actually follow you, Lori. Let me check chat real quick. Okay. On the same day I had interviewed Ms. Barnhart, I had been made aware of and watched a video of another YouTube creator that goes by the name Unirock. Jesus Christ. Can we just skip over this part? Specifically, on August 14th, Unirock posted on his Periscope a live stream video called Livescope with Kate Without a Crystal Ball, on which he had Ms. Paulson on as a guest. At approximately 56 minutes into the video, I witnessed Ms. Paulson unilaterally start speaking about Ms. Barnhart and state, quote, Lori is so mad at me for literally trying to end drama with, I'm sorry I disappointed you, Lori. I am, with Leslie, but I have to do this for myself, and I have to move forward. And just like I can't stay mad at Kyle forever, actually a good friend of mine, I was friendly with Leslie. I don't know why anyone wants to perpetuate this drama, unquote. Later on in the same video, at approximately the 78-minute mark, I witnessed Ms. Paulson demonstrate such a familiarity with Ms. Barnhart that she was able to identify that a person pretending to be Ms. Barnhart in the live chat was a fake and stated, there's two Loriannes in here. There's someone that's fake. I've uploaded a true and correct copy of this video to a Dropbox. Okay. I then went back to watch the video on Defendants Without a Crystal Ball YouTube channel titled 100K Celebration Stream, Join the Conversation, which was uploaded to said channel on, what? There's on June 9th. Okay. And of which I mentioned in a previous declaration. In watching said video, I personally witnessed at approximately 35 minutes therein, a person I know to be Ms. Paulson display on her video screen a message from Ms. Barnhart's YouTube account along with her picture. I then heard Ms. Paulson simultaneously say, oh, this one, Lori. Don't ever get into it with Lori. Lori remembers her names. Lori is the catalog. Lori didn't like me at one point, and now she is my best friend, unquote. A true and correct copy of the screenshot I obtained. Okay, there we go. It's the stream. Okay. I had downloaded this YouTube video directly from YouTube without the live chat to a Dropbox for the court's convenience. Said screenshot verifies that the Ms. Barnhart's YouTube account name had a paid membership loyalty badge next to it that is only available to members of defendants' YouTube channel that pays defendants a recurring monthly fee. Okay. On January 12th, I discussed these videos with Ms. Barnhart. I told her that I was confused as to how Ms. Paulson could proclaim that she had no connection to Ms. Barnhart when she publicly spoke about her familiarity with and intimate knowledge about Ms. Barnhart. Ms. Barnhart then stated to me that while they were not, quote, best friends, unquote, as Ms. Paulson stated in her June 19th video, they were significantly closer than the average fan or paid member. Also during the January 12th interview, and along this vein of questioning, I asked Ms. Barnhart about the ways by which she would communicate with Ms. Paulson. Ms. Barnhart told me she would mainly communicate with Ms. Paulson through Facebook direct messages, Twitter direct messages, and openly on Twitter. She initially could not remember whether she had communicated with Ms. Paulson via email. I then asked Ms. Barnhart about her 1,500-word statement that she wrote for Mr. Brown, explaining her story to him. I specifically brought to her attention to the portion of said statement that said, quote, I reached out to Ms. Paulson around April, and I told her my life story, unquote. I then asked Ms. Barnhart a series of questions based on these statements. First, I asked, how is it that she could tell Ms. Barnhart her life story without telling Miss Paulson that she lived in or was from Washington. Ms. Barnhart stated to me and Miss Levine that she definitely told Miss Paulson that she lived in Washington as part of her life story. She also said that she was Facebook friends with Miss Paulson and that Miss Barnhart's Facebook page expressly stated immediately next to her name that she lives in Washington. Ms. Barnhart also said that she informed Mr. Brown that she was friends with Miss Paulson on Facebook, which we confirmed in one of her emails with Mr. Brown. I then asked Ms. Barnhart by what method did she communicate her life story to Miss Paulson. Ms. Barnhart stated that she had sent Miss Paulson her life story in an email and that Miss Paulson replied to said email. I then pointed out to Miss Barnhart that she just admitted to communicating with Miss Paulson via email, to which Miss Barnhart responded, "Yes, I guess we did." Miss Barnhart then clarified that she rarely communicated with Miss Paulson by email, but admitted that it had happened. Given the existence of an apparent significant connection between Miss Barnhart and Miss Paulson that we had documented through Twitter and said videos, I asked Miss Barnhart about Miss Paulson purportedly assigning tasks for her to perform on Paulson's behalf. I specifically brought to Miss Barnhart's attention the following screenshots that I had obtained from Twitter. A. I discussed the below screenshot and Miss Paulson telling Miss Barnhart that she knows her ride or dies will always shut detractors down. Loran tweets, "Yep, she has been dealing with it for a long time. I don't know how she does it either, but you can tell that they're not okay. Pretty sad lives they live." Katie Joy tweets, "I ignore them because I know my ride or dies will always shut them down." B. I discussed the below screenshot and Miss Paulson telling a fan that she considers Miss Barnhart my fiercest and loyalist. You're amazing, Katie. Such a strong person. I want to be like you when I grow up, even though I'm older than you. Katie Jerry tweets, "My fiercest and loyalist next to Bloodtail and area housewife." I also discussed the below screenshot of Miss Paulson telling Miss Barnhart's friend that she is not worried about her detractors because, quote, "you and Lori will be on the hunt," unquote. Real Housewife, I saw Sanders Kennedy video first. I don't understand why everyone is coming after you when you didn't release the information. It looks like they were all ready to take you down. Yeah, God, the spelling is atrocious. I'm suspicious. Katie tweets, "Don't worry, you and Lori will be on the hunt." Along with this line of questioning, I asked Miss Barnhart whether Miss Paulson had ever asked her to perform any tasks on defendant's behalf. Miss Barnhart initially said she could not recall such an event. I then pointed out a screenshot that I had obtained from Twitter of an interaction where Miss Paulson had asked Miss Barnhart to deliver a message on Miss Paulson's behalf that said, quote, "let her know this is why she's blocked, because I know she's trolling," unquote. Below is the true and correct copy of said screenshot. All right, yeah. After reviewing these messages, Miss Barnhart recalled that Miss Paulson had, in fact, asked her to perform certain tasks on defendant's behalf. I then asked Miss Barnhart if Miss Paulson had ever asked her to, quote, mass flag, or report any videos made by or the YouTube channels of Miss Paulson's detractors. Miss Barnhart was initially reluctant to answer this question out of fear of implicating herself and being added to the lawsuit. In response, I assured her that we have no intent of adding her as a party to the lawsuit. Once reassured, Miss Barnhart told us that Miss Paulson had asked all of her viewers to mass flag the content of other YouTubers. Specifically, Miss Barnhart told us that Miss Paulson would ask her and others to help mass flag competitors' YouTube channels and that made negative comments about defendants in order to have their platforms demonetized or taken away. Ms. Barnhart stated that she recalled one such event wherein she was told to flag a video from Lil Red, a YouTube creator and competitor of defendants, who was publishing negative content regarding Ms. Paulson. As a point of confirmation, I subsequently viewed a video on YouTube dated November 8th titled "Why You Shouldn't Break TOS." This video is a documented collection of multiple instances wherein defendants had publicly asked solicited viewers and followers to mass report other YouTube creators amongst other people and companies, including the instance identified above by Ms. Barnhart. Specifically, at approximately the 33-second mark in said video, I heard Ms. Paulson state, quote, "Please report her video. She cannot do this. This is like against terms of service," unquote. I then heard Ms. Paulson say, again at the 1 minute 29-second mark, "Please report her," quote, "please report her video." All right, well, I'll do it from my computer, unquote. The video then shows Ms. Paulson purportedly flagging Little Red's YouTube channel and or content. I have downloaded a true and correct version of said video from YouTube, placed in a Dropbox, okay. In that November 8th video, I saw that in the video's live chat, a person using the YouTube moniker Canisteris. Oh no. Oh God, now he's in it too. Which I understood is the account belonging to Miss Paulson's husband, wrote, quote, "Thanks to everyone who has reported so far," unquote. Thereunder, I saw that other participants of the video's live chat responded with comments such as, "How do we report it? I just reported her. Not sure I did it right." And reported it. Below is a true and correct screenshot I obtained from said video, purportedly memorializing said live chat comments in response to Ms. Paulson's public request to mass report another YouTube creator's content and or channel. Yeah, you see a screenshot of canning dicks there saying thanks to everyone who's reported so far. I then saw that the video went on to show more of the purported live chat from said video, including the following screenshots. Quote, "I thought it was against the rules to ask people to mass report. What am I missing here? What is the stream about tonight? Mass reporting?" Unquote. I also saw that in said live chat, other participants stating that the YouTube creator that is the subject of the purported public mass flagging request is Little Red. Below is a true and correct screenshot I obtained from said video's memorialization of said comments purportedly made in the reference live chat. I thought it was against rules to ask people to support. Okay. Frida is pissed too. Little Reds always streams other content if she can stay. You know, you fall asleep one time on stream, and Jesus Christ. The account is called Whiskey Cheetos, a reporter. Okay. This information, therefore, provided me the basis for developing the good faith belief that Ms. Barnhart was being completely truthful about her being publicly asked by Ms. Paulson to mass flag Little Red's content and or channel. I asked Ms. Barnhart if Ms. Paulson had ever asked her privately to flag or report a YouTube creator's content and or channel. Ms. Barnhart responded in the affirmative. Ms. Barnhart then described an event where Ms. Paulson instructed her in a direct message conversation to also flag a YouTube creator and competitor's YouTube channel named Sherelle's World. Ms. Barnhart stated that it occurred when she brought a video on the Sherelle's World YouTube channel to Ms. Paulson's attention. Ms. Paulson then told Ms. Barnhart to report it and instructed her how to do so. Ms. Barnhart then stated that she followed Ms. Paulson's directions as requested and reported said channel to YouTube for having inappropriate content. Although Ms. Barnhart was unable to produce the direct message conversation in which she claimed to have been instructed by Ms. Paulson to mass report a YouTube channel, the story Ms. Barnhart told us was corroborated by information that we had been provided of other instances of Ms. Paulson reaching out to others privately to solicit the mass reporting of YouTube channels and content. Specifically, by way of example and not limitation, I had been provided purported screenshots of a private chat message conversation Ms. Paulson had with another individual, wherein Ms. Paulson seemingly asked said person, "Do you have trolls that can mass report?" quote unquote. I have been provided no information to make me believe that said screenshots have been fabricated or are not an accurate recordation of that portion of said direct message conversation. As such, I had developed the good faith belief that Ms. Barnhart was being truthful in her depiction of the private instructions. Ms. Barnhart received, and I thought there's a period there. In her depiction of the private instructions Ms. Barnhart received to mass flag another YouTube channel that was publishing content unfavorable to Ms. Paulson. Below are true and correct screenshots I obtained. Okay. I've said purported private direct message conversation that helped for me. Okay. Yep, sending the troops to that page. I just sent them. Okay, this must be Katie over here on the white. Yep, sending the troops to that page. I just sent them. Katie. Steve McRae, I used to co-host on a channel he ran with his partner Kyle. They split, and I'm not connected to them at all. Katie, or whoever this is. Well, good riddance to MS Bad Eyebrows, LOL. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family today, girlie. Eat lots of food and enjoy the day. Riddance, all riddance. Okay. Katie, do you have trolls that can mass report? Blue. No, I don't even know how that would work. Katie, LOL, oh well. Blue, I'm just a little Canadian gal who supports you, no internet genius or anything. Blue, is that a thing, though, like on YouTube? I know people can buy likes and subs. Okay, I'm going to check the chat again, and I'm going to take a sip of soda. I want to say thank you to Kristen Nettle for the super chat. Thank you. Okay. Wait, I did unmute myself, right? Okay. At a certain point in our questioning of Ms. Barnhart on January 12th, she had informed us that she takes medication for her personal health issues. She later informed us that she had just taken said medicine and that side effects will eventually make her thoughts foggy. Based on this information, all right, we already know all this. We read this. They ended shit, then they picked it back up on the 13th. Ms. Barnhart also sent me a text message on January 13th, making sure that she used the term mass flagging correctly in her rendition of the events described above regarding her reporting of the Sherelle's World YouTube channel, and asked for reassurance that she had not added herself to the lawsuit by disclosing such information. I assured Ms. Barnhart that we had no intent on adding her to the lawsuit. Below is the true and correct copy of the screenshot. Lorianne wrote, I want to make sure I have the correct definition of mass flagging. I think that means she told me to report Sherelle's video. I myself, I have did report it, but I didn't tell or ask anyone else to. Do I have it right? I hope so. I hope I didn't add myself to the lawsuit. No. Thank you so much. I was worried. On January 13th, Miss Levine and I spent another 5 to 6 hours communicating with Miss Barnhart. Miss Barnhart described the circumstances and events that ultimately led to Miss Barnhart tweeting about her toxic relationship with Miss Paulson, and that she was better off after having created distance between them. Attached here too is, as Exhibit 2, our true and correct copies of screenshot. Okay. Katie Joy wrote, I can't see Kathy's response. What Joe was doing now isn't okay with me. Lorianne writes, I haven't seen any proof of Joe doing anything since she apologized. I've seen a lot of threats made directly to her in chats, though. But moving on, it's not my issue to be concerned with. Katie writes, Lori, I adore you. You know that doesn't change. Oh, wait. Where's... Okay. Ms. Barnhart's tweets talking about her separation from Ms. Paulson. Of particular note, Ms. Barnhart identified one particular tweet from Ms. Paulson after Ms. Barnhart had informed her that she would be, quote unquote, moving on, to which Ms. Paulson wrote to Ms. Barnhart, Lori, I adore you. You know that doesn't change. We then asked if Ms. Barnhart could explain why Ms. Paulson would say such things to Ms. Barnhart if there was no connection between the two of them. Ms. Barnhart responded that Ms. Paulson simply was not telling the truth about their connection or interactions. Below is a screenshot I obtained from Ms. Barnhart's Twitter account of said interaction with her permission. Based on Ms. Barnhart's answers and supporting documentation throughout the interview, I believed that sections of the proposed declarations that Mr. Brown wanted Ms. Barnhart to sign under penalty of perjury contain false information. These include, but are not limited to, the following statements. A, quote, my interactions with Ms. Paulson have been limited to 1, a few brief online conversations unrelated to this matter. 2, the fact that I was a subscriber to her channel for a brief time in 2020. And 3, the fact that last week I sent her a few chats after the filing of the Fulmer Declaration. I believed this statement to be false as demonstrated by the above stated evidence of the significant amount of interaction between Ms. Paulson and Ms. Barnhart on Twitter and elsewhere. B, Ms. Paulson and I have never been friends and have had very little direct contact, unquote. I believe the statement to be false as demonstrated by Ms. Paulson's statement made in the aforementioned August 14th Unirock video. The statements in the June 9th video, the tweets from Ms. Paulson about Ms. Barnhart when Ms. Barnhart was not a party to the conversation, and the tweets from Ms. Paulson indicating that she follows and adores Ms. Barnhart. And C, quote, I have no reason to believe Ms. Paulson knew what state I lived in until very recently, unquote. I believed the statement to be false in that Ms. Barnhart expressly told Mr. Brown that she told Ms. Paulson her life story back in April 2020. Ultimately, Ms. Levine sent Ms. Barnhart a draft of her declaration for review. We went over the declaration with Ms. Barnhart in a phone conversation wherein I read every single sentence to Ms. Barnhart, stopped at the end of each paragraph, and made sure that Ms. Barnhart understood what was being said and to check in with Ms. Barnhart as to whether she had edits. At the conclusion of reviewing said declaration, we sent Ms. Barnhart the corrected and final version of the declaration with her edits included. Ms. Barnhart then downloaded the declaration on her phone without difficulty and returned the declaration signed. January 27th, telephonic conference of counsel. Mr. Brown misstates the meet and confer process. First, on January 27th, we engaged in a telephonic conference call that lasted a total of 40 minutes, not 1 hour, as stated in Mr. Brown's time record. After approximately 40 minutes on the call, Mr. Brown indicated that he had to relieve his associate, so he could not complete the meet and confer process. The conference call was supposed to to be regarding the following 4 anticipated motions to be brought by Mr. Brown. A, motion for sanctions under whatever. B, motion for Rule 11 sanctions. C, motion to shorten time on the 21-day safe harbor period for the Rule 11 motion. And D, motion to qualify Mr. Brown to continue to represent defendants. In regard to the instant motion and the motion for Rule 11 sanctions, I indicated during the January 27th conference call that the legal standard attendant to these motions is that no reasonable attorney would have filed Ms. Barnhart's declaration. I also indicated that I was more than willing to share with him the documents that our office reviewed in drafting Ms. Barnhart's declaration. Mr. Brown did not follow up with my offer before filing his motion for sanctions. However, during the call, Mr. Brown did question various aspects of Ms. Barnhart's declaration. Mr. Brown's declaration indicates that they told Mr. Brown during the call that Ms. Barnhart is easily, quote, confused, unquote, and has poor memory and suffers from foggy thinking, especially when she is under, quote, unusual stress and anxiety and is taking a certain medication as she had been during the prior several weeks since the Plummer declaration was filed. This, they insisted, explained why she told Mr. Brown a fake story over a period of 18 days and 150 exchanged emails, unquote. Mr. Brown's entire recantation of said discussions during the telephone call is false. What I said during the call was that Ms. Barnhart suffers from personal health issues for which she takes medication. I said that the side effect of said medication, when it kicks in, makes her foggy. I explained to Mr. Brown that Ms. Barnhart had advised us at a certain point in our interview process that her medication was kicking in. I then said that this caused us to adjourn our call on January 12th and pick up the next day when Ms. Barnhart would be thinking more clearly. No one told Mr. Brown that Ms. Barnhart had told him a false story. I also said that Ms. Barnhart was confused by Mr. Brown and that she felt he was manipulating her to say things that were not true. Additionally, contrary to his statement on paragraph 5 of his declaration, no one told Mr. Brown that we rushed to complete the interview with Ms. Barnhart and obtain her signature. Rather, I told Mr. Brown that Ms. Barnhart was upset with him because her primary concern was to correct the apparent error in Ms. Fulmer's declaration as soon as possible, and that after nearly 3 weeks, Mr. Brown had taken no steps to inform plaintiff's counsel of said error so that it could be immediately corrected. During the January 27th call, Mr. Brown asked about the mass flagging referenced in Ms. Barnhart's declaration at paragraph 9. Ms. Levine informed Mr. Brown that there have been videos made about defendants instructing others to flag other YouTube channels in violation of terms of service referenced above. Subsequent to the call, Ms. Levine sent Mr. Brown a link to one of these videos, which corroborated Ms. Barnhart's testimony on the matter, and Mr. Brown thanked her. However, Mr. Brown pressed forward with his motion for sanctions, ignoring the evidence that we provided to him during the call, insisting that the entire declaration of Ms. Barnhart is still false, and refusing to meet and confer with us to go over the documents that plaintiffs had obtained from Ms. Barnhart in advance of his filing of his motion that confirm her truthful and corroborated statements contained therein. We also did not complete the meet and confer process as to the other potential motions that Mr. Brown indicated that he was intent on bringing. At the conclusion of the January 27th call, Mr. Brown, though needing to cut the call short, did not attempt to reschedule before filing the next motion. All right, just want to check chat real quick and take a sip of soda. Okay. Oh, Emily D. Baker. Mr. Brown incorrectly speculates that I have some sort of pre-existing relationship with YouTube legal commentator and creator Emily D. Baker, and or that we are in some manner influencing Ms. Baker to produce content unfavorable to Ms. Paulson. I have had no pre-existing relationship with Ms. Baker. Although we both have worked in the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office, I stopped working there in the late 90s, and it is my understanding Ms. Baker started working there in the mid-2000s. I've never asked Ms. Baker to cover any aspect of this case or to say anything about Ms. Paulson. Rather, it is my understanding that Ms. Baker obtains copies of the court documents in this matter and explains them to her audience in a manner that non-legal professionals can understand. The fact that Ms. Paulson and or Mr. Brown perceived that the coverage of this case by Ms. Baker is unfavorable has only to do with the nature and content of the filings in this case, and not because of any alleged alliance. I declare under, okay, yeah, it's this, him, whatever. Wait, let me check this off camera just in case there's emails or some shit. Oh my God, my computer's so slow. Come on. Christ. Okay, page are we on? 35. Okay. Okay, so it's all just tweets. All right. Oh, damn it. There we are. Okay. Just might as well check chat while I stopped for a second. Thank you, sweet home Amanda. Erin, I've been here the entire time by having commented, but I want to say that you kick ass for staying up and reading this. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Exhibit 1. Katie Joy tweets, it's probably Kim and one of her fake accounts. Lorianne says, sorry, I'm being pretty quiet, but some of these personal attacks on your mothering make me mad. Lorianne, the only reason he got involved with Lily and Leslie was because of Katie. It all has to do with Katie. Okay. I don't know what that's about. Lori says, I think of it came down to it. The courts would have allowed him to stay in the home. Otherwise, she would have. Okay. I don't care about that. There was no choice. Andrews. Okay. So Katie tweets, blocked me after getting tough. Shared a screenshot of someone saying, your son is medically fragile, Cristobal, because you drank while pregnant or took pills. Yeah, that's pretty shitty to say. I don't care who she is. It's shitty. Lorianne says, they are 10 times worse than Katie has ever been about the reality stars. Jealousy sucks. I don't know if I agree with that. Katie says, people that are blocked, commenting behind the block just makes you look like a stalker. See, here's what I don't get. I don't care. I'm going to throw something in here. How does she know people are blocked or commenting behind the block unless she's going on another account so she can see what the people are doing that she has blocked? So she can see what the people she has blocked are doing, rather. So it's almost like she's feeling harassed or stalked in this case, but she's kind of stalking herself by making herself able to see the stalking. I don't know. I don't know. It's like that snake eating its tail or something. Okay, Lorianne's tweets, I finally stated blocking people. I highly suggested to anyone that is giving these sock accounts any attention. Like 35 sock accounts equals 5 actual people. Katie says, I've been too busy today. I kept getting tagged on my other account. I noticed people. Okay. Kimberly official does it again. Katie says, they hate me but can't stop tweeting. Lorianne, I know it's hilarious. Lorianne, yes, bullying Katie won't make her go away. Katie, I honestly don't care what the hatters, or anyone else says anymore. They can keep watching and call me crusty. Who cares? It doesn't affect my life at all anymore. Katie, I really want to start recapping before the 90 days. This cast is a damn mess. I would like it if you did. Okay. Katie, it's all views, so hate me. Call me crusty. It doesn't bother me. I'm going to keep sticking up for Andrew. Yes, bullying Katie won't make her go away. Katie, remember that time MTV used my audio, my copyrighted audio to my channel, and they didn't credit me on their show. I haven't forgotten it. Also, you say MTV supports TV, but here you are trying to get fame and money from this. Lorianne, MTV doesn't want anyone to know the truth. They only want sheep to follow their narrative. Katie doesn't support TV. I agree with all that, but I used to love Katie. She is a despicable person. Eventually, you will see it. Oh, she kind of did see it by now, hasn't she? Oh. Okay, Katie tweets the funniest reality TV recap YouTube channels to give you a laugh during the coronavirus outbreak. I made the cut. Huh? No, someone did not tell her that she's funny, right? There's no. I want info on that because they wow. Lorianne, go Katie. Katie, okay, so Macy says that Ryan looked high at the zoo. Okay, I don't care about that. I definitely think he was high. Katie, that will not happen. There is a restraining over, and they are done. Yes, the footage of her beating the crap out of Gary will help along. Whatever. Macy's can. I'm sorry, guys. I just the reality TV stuff. I'm gonna skip over. Awesome, you're doing great. I guess Joe. Okay, Lorianne says, I guess Joe admitting guilt and apologizing means nothing. So why apologize then if people will just make you feel worse? And why accept anyone's apology? Is one better than the other? I am glad we have no dog in this fight. Lesson learned. Okay, these two we've read already. If you follow me, I can't see you. Oh yeah, sorry, I just now saw this. This is not about you, it's about me. I have plenty of protection, don't need it from anyone here. I will make it clear to everyone that I stand alone. I have unfollowed you, I won't be bullied. But I actually follow you, Lori. Okay. Okay, a couple more. This pisses me off. Housewife still defends her and never bashes her. Real Housewife is one of the most loyal people I have ever met. Julie, there you are. She was so rude to her. I know the feeling, it's horrible, but to do it live, so condescending like that in front of what she calls her big audience, oh my God, she needs to get a slice of humble pie or the whole bakery, to be honest. Lorianne, she will be called out for what she just did. Housewife has given her so many chances. Katie stuck up for trolls over Housewife and myself. She forgives trolls, but not real honest people. Lorianne, she will be... Okay. Julie, I'm done with Katie. I can't handle how rude she is to the people who pay her bills. Lorianne, I have been done with her for months too. I don't agree with what the harassers continue to do, but she proves every day why people don't like her. Okay, Lorianne says, anyone who gets involved with the KJ situation is at risk for being doxxed and harassed. Even making one comment, no matter what side you're on, if you are already having issues with mental health or can't handle being found out, stay on the sidelines. No story is worth it. Katie is bad, but she isn't a serial killer, in my opinion. There's a big middle ground, though, there. Not everyone is strong enough to share their story. It can affect their well-being. I feel like all this attention given to her is actually helping her to grow. Just my opinion. My life is so much better since I walked away from her on my own volition. Okay, that's the end of this one. Oh, no, wait. Uni would be better off without Katie. He's lost a subs over her and then treats him bad. I no longer support them. Katie cares about Katie. I'm just one sub, so my thoughts don't really matter. I just observe and try to keep my opinions to myself now. I can see the legit criticism, and I personally can no longer support her. I voice my opinion here and there, but there is so much negativity in this world, it can be exhausting. She will do herself in before too long. I cannot say much because I myself have said a lot of mean things, which I take full responsibility for, but that doesn't make it excusable. I see it all now. I don't know why they did that last night. It certainly isn't going to help the situation. Okay, that's the end of that one. Let me check chat, and then I'll go grab the others. I think there's like two more. I don't know how long they are, though. I mean, I don't know how much longer they can be, really. I don't know if I don't know if I said thank you already, Kristen Nettle, but if I didn't, thank you for the super chat. I think I said your name. And Aussie Trisha, thank you for the super chat. I'm about an hour in. You poor girl, you must be exhausted in the chat. Thank you for reading it. You're welcome. I stated earlier how I kind of went on a sleep bender for a couple of days, so I couldn't sleep. I was wide awake tonight anyways, and I knew this was dropping, so why not? But thank you. Okay. Let's see. This is 2, so now 3. All right. wait a second. Damn it. We'll go back. Karen Nash Collins, I think I read yours, but if I didn't, I just want to read it, make sure that I do get it. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for doing this for us. You're welcome. Okay. So this is Declaration of Jeffrey E. Blanco in support of plaintiffs. Oh, isn't that like the paralegal or something? Oh, I'm an attorney admitted to appear before you. Okay. A partner. I always thought he was a paralegal. Okay. Oh, this is only 8 pages. Okay, cool. I participated in this court's February 2nd status conference. Attached as Exhibit 1 is a true and correct copy of a selected portion of the verbatim report of proceedings before Honorable Barbara J. Rothstein, United States District Judge. On January 25th, Defendant's counsel, Michael Brown, sent plaintiff's counsel an email to request a meet and confer telephone conference to discuss four motions defendants intended to file. 1, motion for sanctions under, 2, motion for Rule 11. 3, motion to shorten the 21-day time thing, safe harbor. 4, motion to qualify Mr. Brown to continue to represent defendants. In his email, Mr. Brown stated that, quote, the sanctions motions are premised on your preparation and submission of the Barnhart Declaration, as well as Mr. Saltz's determination in his declaration that Lori and defendants conspire to hide evidence, unquote. Attached as Exhibit 2 is a true and correct copy of this email. On January 27th, Michael Saltz, Elena Levine, and I participated in a meet and confer telephone conference with defendant's counsel, Michael Brown, and one of his associates. Mr. Brown failed to mention or address any of the following issues during the meet and confer. The Kim Fulmer Declaration, including whether any of Ms. Fulmer's testimony was submitted for an improper purpose. B, whether Mr. Saltz's direct messages to a friend of Lori Barnhart were for oppressive reasons and an improper purpose. C, whether any testimony of Mr. Saltz's January 4th testimony was submitted for an improper purpose. And D, whether plaintiff's counsel violated RPC 4.2 by communicating with Ms. Barnhart. Additionally, plaintiff's counsel never told Mr. Brown during the conference call that A, Ms. Barnhart believed that she was represented by Mr. Brown on January 12th. B, plaintiff's counsel received each and every single email between Ms. Barnhart and Mr. Brown. C, Ms. Barnhart told plaintiff's counsel a story they wanted to hear. D, Ms. Barnhart told Mr. Brown a fake story. And E, plaintiff's counsel rushed to complete their interview of Ms. Barnhart and get her signature on the signed Barnhart Declaration before her medication took effect. I declare under penalty of perjury for, No, what did I say? War? Did I really say that? Laws. I swear, I think late at night or something. I start getting dyslexic. Exhibit 1, United States. Oh, wait, this is an email or something. All right, let me just look at this off screen just in case. Because I think one of them did say that there's a copy of the email or something. I want to make sure there's nothing on it before I pull it up. All right. Okay, that's fine. All right. Okay, so that's an email, though. All right, I'll leave that up, and when I get down towards it, I'll pull it back up and read it. So here we can look at United States District Court, Western District of Washington at Seattle. This is the transcript for the status conference hearing they had in court with the judge. Verbatim report of proceedings before the Honorable Judge Rothstein, United States District Judge. Appearances, people who are there. So it's just very, I don't know who this is speaking, but so it's just very aggravating for us to hear him again say, quote, we're not accusing her of doing it, but here are the reasons why we know she's doing it, unquote. In the Kennett Declaration, Ms. Kennett says, quote, I knew Ms. Paulson was not being honest with me when she denied that she was behind the hacks. That is directly pointing the finger at Ms. Paulson. She says, quote, I believe these accounts, unquote, that are hacking her and harassing her, quote, were working closely with Ms. Paulson, unquote. So Mr. Saltz just told the court that Ms. Kennett didn't accuse Ms. Paulson of doing this. The declaration in black and white says it did. I don't want to believe we live in a post-factual world, Your Honor. The declaration says that, and what Mr. Saltz said today does not take away what the declaration said. The court. Mr. Saltz, it sure sounds he's reading from a declaration that says exactly that. Mr. Saltz. Sorry, Your Honor. What he's reading from is a comment that said that the hackers had private information contained from a private conversation that she had with Ms. Paulson, and that was what she was talking about, along with what we called, quote, the dog whistle statement, unquote, where they went after her with regard to certain events. But I can go into it and I can explain what Ms. Kennett was saying in her declaration, or I understand that the court, okay, that's the end of that. Yeah, that is. Okay, so then after that is an email. Yeah, then Ms. Paulson. Okay. Email is from Brown to Saltz about the meet and confer. And it says, please let me know your availability today or tomorrow to meet and confer on the following motions we intend to file. And again, this is the 4 motions. The sanctions motions are premised on your preparation and submission of the Bernhardt Declaration as well as Mr. Saltz's turn. Okay, where are you at that? I can make myself available most anytime. Okay, signed Brown. That's the end of that one. So last one. Okay. Watch this one be like 182 pages. Oh no, only 2 pages. Holy shit. So we are about at the end, guys. Okay, let me just check chat real quick. Okay, all right, so what do we have here? Proposed order denying defendant's motion for sanctions. Order. This matter comes before the court upon defendant's motion for sanctions motion. In ruling on this motion, the court considered the pleadings, declarations, exhibits, and briefing filed by the parties in this matter as well as the record. Based on the foregoing, it is hereby ordered that defendant's motion for sanctions is denied. So Saltzy doesn't get sanctioned, and no lawyer's fees are owed by Saltzy and his side. I think that's what this says. That's how I'm taking it. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Yeah, guys, I strongly suggest, even though you heard this or whatever, you heard me read, or even if you read it or whatever, I strongly suggest tuning in and watching Emily D. Baker, because I could have very easily butchered half of this, and God knows my takes on anything just should never, ever be listened to. Oh, it's just pre-written for the judge? Oh, damn it. Well, that's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of bait and switchy. See, the perfect example, though, on why you should watch Emily D. Baker when it comes to this still, even though I read it, just really, because I'll just have you like more confused than ever. Oh, right, she has a maid named Toad. What? Thank you, Michelle. Like, I figured, like, we'd read it and shit, but, like, I didn't think I was going to be here reading for, like, 3 hours. But I don't mind. I'm not complaining. Just, yeah. If I'd known that, I would have prepped a little bit better. Maybe not screwed so much of it up. Thank you, Katie. Please grant jurisdiction. So, you know, she's got to be granting jurisdiction, though. I mean, just think about the effort she has put forward so far in this court case. I mean, it's not much, but I would think a federal judge wouldn't even bother if they planned on not giving or not establishing jurisdiction. You're welcome, Marco. You're welcome, Karen. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Michelle. And when right after I end the stream, I'm gonna finish setting up the video. I already uploaded it to YouTube, but I gotta do a thumbnail and shit for it still. But as soon as it's done, I'm gonna make it public, and then anyone wants to watch it, they can. It'll probably be, I don't know, an hour or so. Holy shit! There's almost 300 people watching right now, and it's like 6 a.m. Well, it's 6 a.m. where I am. Thank you, Sherry. You're welcome, Courtney. You're welcome, Harper. You're welcome, Elliot's Web. I don't just. This is gonna. I think as far as a freaking defamation case of all things. I mean, I think all courts shit's kind of just dull or whatever, boring. But especially defamation's got to be incredibly boring. But I think this is just gonna be really exciting. Oh, Diane, thank you for the super chat. You did a great job. I came in late. Thank you for doing this to us. You're welcome. Thank you. Well, I don't even have it on live chat. I never even noticed that. I've been in top chat. You're welcome, Low Red. Oh, wow. Now I see all these messages I haven't been able to see. Crazy. Yeah, I know. Isn't it, Little Red? It's, I don't know. Court, when it comes to just law, reciting law, the only thing more boring, I think, than that is philosophy. Again, but I don't know. I could sit and just listen to all this shit for this case. Yes, we are here. We are here and eating breakfast. Oh, that sounds good. What are you having? The phrase I want to be a fly in the wall. Yeah. I know. All the y'alls. Y'all. I swear to God, like I'll read something or whatever, and like I'll be saying it in my head, and it's not even me saying it when I hear it in my head. It's her saying it. Okay, is it Michael Wells, Mikkel Wells? I know you and I've talked probably God knows how many times on Twitter and whatnot. I never really know how to pronounce your name, but where you go now? Well, but good night to you too. Thanks for coming. Yeah, Laura. Yeah, religion I've always found fascinating, but politics is right up there with this boring legal shit. Mikkel, okay, thank you. It does kind of look like I don't know, like a new age way to spell Michael too, almost. But initially, I thought it was Mikkel. Yeah. Oh, I gotta say though, I think tax law is probably the worst. I mean, it's like if I was forced to like sit in a room for like 2 days straight and just listen to tax law, I think I'd like shove like murder hornets in my ears or something. I still say everyone should jump in a big ass Zoom call and everyone same stream from their channels, and YouTube would be like, what the F? It would be cool. My dad is Michael, along with Michael's son, Michael. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a night though, because it's 6 a.m. here, and now McLaughlin there has me thinking about breakfast. So I gotta go get food. So good night, guys. So thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for listening to me read for 3.5 hours. And I'm planning on doing a live Friday night. I'm taking tomorrow off because I've had plans for other shit or whatever. I'm not going to be around much all tomorrow. But Friday night I wanted to do a live stream because I want to kind of talk and discuss a new person on YouTube. Well, not a new person to me and my channel, but not new to YouTube. So, but I'll make a post about it and fill you in tomorrow. So, all right. Good night, guys. Thank you. See you later.